for the world around us. Because when we wonder, the things our world needs could be just one breakthrough away. That's Dow.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Great Lakes Loons. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the 4 seasons and 4 Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass. Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that.
Hello. Oh, we made it. Welcome to Rivalry Week. Welcome to Hate Week. Michigan versus Michigan State. We're 4 days away. We got our Super Bowl matchup yesterday. The Detroit Pistons are still in first place in the Eastern Conference. The Red Wings are still in first place in the Atlantic, tied for first place in the entire East. This is prime time of the year to be doing Sports Talk Radio. Welcome into the show, everybody. Ben Bosscher here with you as always. Kyle Sandel behind the glass today. Let's start out today by, biggest game of the year. We're less than 2 weeks away from it. We finally found out who's going to be playing in the Super Bowl last night, Kyle. We have 2 conference championship games. First the AFC at 3:30 and then the NFC at 6:30. 2 totally different games, but 2 incredible ones. And now we've got a rematch of Super Bowl 49 between the Patriots and the Seahawks. I'm going to give you 3 big takeaways from yesterday. You tell me which one of these you want to dive into first. So the first one is the Sam Darnold criticism. The Sam Darnold skeptics have to end. Got to give it up. I'll throw myself in that group. I think you'd throw yourself in that group as well.
No, I've never doubted him.
It's finally time to hang that up because he's playing in a Super Bowl. And maybe we have to acknowledge he's pretty good. The Patriots, back in the Super Bowl, yet to me this team's just not very dislikable. Not to say that like I'm sitting here in love with this Patriots team. I want them to win, but they're not hateable like a lot of their former version of themselves have been. And then I'll give you this one as well. Mike Macdonald, the coach of the Seattle Seahawks. He's now 6-4 versus Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan. He beat them both in the playoffs here. You have these two borderline geniuses when it comes to calling offense. Seattle counters those guys, not with going to find their own version of that, but to bring in this defensive guy. And he has, I mean, it's not like he completely shut down Matt Stafford and the Rams yesterday. I thought Stafford down the stretch of that game was making some remarkable plays. But now you've got a guy who's kind of dethroned both Shanahan and McVay, which I didn't really think would ever be possible in the NFC West. So where do you want to start out?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Patriots being back in the Super Bowl in general, just with a completely different era, no Brady, no Belichick, is just something in its own. But I think it's got to be with the Mike Macdonald stuff. You know, obviously has the tie with Michigan as well, so that plays here. But, yeah, I mean, this is just we always reference Sean McVay and Shanahan, but primarily McVay as just top coaches in the NFL. Like, you are just always looking at – those are two of the names you always bring up. And the fact that not only you beat them both on the way there, but it was the rubber match with both of those coaches, right? You had played both of them already twice in the regular season. And you look at the stat that they did it with, it's not like Mike Macdonald and the Seahawks were supposed to be really good. So it's like, yeah, they beat McVay and Shanahan. That's awesome. But, like, no, there's none of that here. It's Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah. Like, you know, it's just so weird to think about the season that they've had. And, yeah, like you said, I guess this plays into the Darnold stuff a little bit. But to me, it's just like, man, Macdonald has immediately just jumped into that list of elite coaches in the NFL. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I don't want to be the person to overreact and start, oh, he's a top 5 coach or whatever, just because he made the Super Bowl. And, you know, we can do a coaching rankings another time. But we've seen the Kyle Shanahan McVay tree branch out here in the NFL, obviously, over the past 9-10 years. It feels like there's going to be a Macdonald type of thing because of the way he's revolutionized the way that defenses are playing. And obviously it helps that he has a great offensive coordinator too in Clint Kubiak, who's obviously been the bigger reason that Sam Darnold has been revived here. But some of the plays, like the personnel that they're rolling out there with Seattle, where they've got the 3 safeties, or then they'll line 7 guys up on the line of scrimmage on that 4th down on the goal line, and then they'll drop back 9 guys into coverage. The scheme here, it seems to be so complex, and I'm not going to sit here and try to break down the scheme, but I've watched other people do it, and it does feel like this defense, this version of what Seattle's running, has just kind of changed the way that a lot of NFL coaches are thinking about defense when it's more about, well, this is the area of the field that I'm supposed to cover. This is my job, rather than, well, this is my man in my zone. It's the little things that I'm not going to try to explain, but just know that Macdonald has kind of changed the way that coaches are looking at defense. And it's working because he beat 2 of the brightest offensive minds in football back-to-back weeks here, one of which he just throttled, and the other which, another toe-to-toe showdown with Sam Darnold and Matt Stafford, McVay, and Macdonald. It definitely helped that they were at home.
Yeah, and it's always felt like McVay and Shanahan have been like the true rivals of the NFC West. Like every time they've played in the playoffs a few times. It always has felt like these big-time battles. And Mike Macdonald has just wedged his way right into the middle of that. You know, I mean, these Rams-Seahawks games this season were awesome. All 3 of them, specifically those last 2. Like last night's game was great. And so I think that, I mean, we're seeing this with Baltimore right now, right? They don't want to let a Mike Macdonald guy who was already in their building out the door again. You know, imagine if they could have just waited a couple years and had him just take over as their head coach. They would be loving that right now. So they go get Jesse Minter. Oh, DC at Michigan? I guess it worked out there. Let's try this out again. You know, like
I wonder if there's a big picture zag coming in where there's so much offense right now, and now teams are starting to look for more towards a defensive head coach.
And it also, I mean, obviously you've already touched on this, but it really matters who you hire as the offensive coordinator. You know, like we're seeing that with Robert Saleh going to Tennessee, who a lot of people think is this big culture guy. Like,
we'll see.
He could be, but the offensive coordinator hire is almost just as important as it is the head coaching hire. But yeah, with that stuff, like that's why I'm always pro. Take a swing on the young guy that he's not coached yet. Just take a swing. Look at all these guys, man. A ton of them just have had so much success this year. McDonald's in year 2 of it. Like he was really good in year 1 too, and just has taken this ultimate leap in year 2. So I'm always in favor of that, and he is absolutely. I don't know if I want to crown him as the McVay Shanahan beater,
the Slayer,
but he is right now. Like no one else has a better case than him.
Yeah, there was a tiny stretch in there where I thought it was going to be Dan Campbell and the Lions. It didn't end up working out that way. Yeah, so we have our Super Bowl rematch. Is it crazy that even down the stretch of that Rams-Seahawks game, I'm in the fourth quarter and I'm just waiting for Sam Darnold to throw an interception? I'm like, it's got to happen at some point. There's no way he's going 3 straight weeks without one, and he doesn't. I'm not going to go as far as say he outdueled Stafford because what Stafford was doing in the fourth quarter, it felt like he was walking into the Hall of Fame as we were like watching it play out in front of our eyes. But they come up just short, and Sam Darnold did enough. The run game did enough. Darnold goes for 346, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And it's enough to get to his Super Bowl. Now we've got a former number 1 overall pick who, on his, 4th different team, ends up playing in the big game in February, which this has now happened, a handful of times. Not the fact that they get to the Super Bowl, but these number 1 overall picks get casted away and revive their careers elsewhere. And I'm not like, this isn't a new story. This isn't a new take or anything. It's just, you take a step back and realize like, oh my, it's so much more about where these guys get drafted and the system that they get drafted to and who their head coach is rather than like who they are as players.
Right.
There's only so much Sam Darnold could have done in New York. And now he's here in Seattle on, is it his 4th or 5th team?
5th team. Yeah, I mean, he played for the 49ers, never actually played for them, but
who's the team I'm missing then? Because Rams.
Well, you go
Seahawks,
Jets, Panthers.
Oh, Panthers. That's the one I was missing.
And then, not Rams, 49ers, and then he goes Vikings, Seahawks.
Yeah. And now he's here. Now he's arrived playing against the guy who could still win the MVP. Just 2 completely different stories here.
Yeah. Well, I've already seen this take. Like, Jets fans' worst Super Bowl ever right now, right?
Jets fans worst. Why would
you got to deal with Sam Darnold on one end, who you drafted 3rd overall, like could have been the savior of the Jets, but just completely ruined his career, obviously. And Carolina didn't help with that either. And then you get the Patriots on the other side,
who just continuously beat up on the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like their most hated team. That's terrible, man. Unless some Jets fans are like rooting for Sam Darnold. But I don't know. I feel like I would just be more jealous than anything.
The Vikings got to be pretty big losers here too.
That's really good.
Right?
Yeah.
To go and watch the guy that you had in the building last year bring a different team to a Super Bowl after you had 14 wins the season before. I feel like they might be the bigger losers here if we're talking about teams that aren't in the playoffs.
Really good point. I mean, Sam Darnold on the Vikings this year.
I would be scared of that team.
Without a doubt, a playoff team. Without a doubt.
There's a chance they win the North.
Yeah.
Like, there's a chance they just trump everybody in the NFC North. That would have been an awesome team.
I feel like we have to do this. It's long overdue.
Oh, no.
We owe an apology to Noah in our YouTube chat. He's been all in on the Sam Darnold glaze and hype for weeks. And, yes, I did say he was overdoing it. Now, what, am I overdoing it with the guy who led the league in turnovers? You know, that's all I'm saying. But he was great in the playoffs. Sam Darnold was great in the playoffs.
I don't think I'm going to watch the Super Bowl waiting and anticipating a Sam Darnold interception.
I thought you were going to say, I don't think I'm going to watch the Super Bowl.
Oh, no, I'll watch the Super Bowl. But I don't know, man. It's somehow like even deep into the fourth quarter, I'm just waiting for the interception, and it hasn't come. I thought he was stellar yesterday.
Yeah.
He was playing on time. He was playing with anticipation. He was throwing guys open. JSN was doing, I mean, him and Puka sharing the field together was something else. No disrespect to Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, but these 2 guys, they played 3 times this year, and they look like the 2 best receivers in the NFL all 3 times.
I mean, JSN, that one-handed catch he made, it felt like it was just hey, like, I know I'm playing against Puka right now, so I have to do something a little extra.
Right.
And he
And it worked out.
absolutely did. Like, both of those guys, every time they went up to make a catch, it was like,
And that wasn't even the biggest play he made yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, he finds himself wide open a ton of different times, but he goes up, makes that huge catch, and then gets crushed on it. Like, a lot of those catches that both those guys make are just like, half the guys in the league aren't making that catch.
The change of direction that JSN has, where I feels like he can just kind of get open at any point. He's got the Amon-Ra stuff to him a little bit, to where he can just beat you to the open space. It's not that he's beating you one-on-one. It's just he's going to get to the open space before you are. And as long as Sam Darnold's hitting him on target,
right,
there's not a whole lot you can do about it. And then Puka's just this. Man, he's everything that touches his hands, he catches, and he just delivers and takes these massive hits. Both of them are joys to watch. I'm glad that we get to watch one of those guys in the Super Bowl. And then on the flip side of things, the Patriots don't really have a weapon like that. The guy that everyone thinks is their stud has basically been put back in the cage, back in the dog pound in Travion Henderson, and they're just going to rock with Ramondre Stevenson.
Right.
And we kind of glossed past that game. Mike Vrabel just having the balls of steel to just continue to give it back to the Jared Stidham-led Broncos and Sean Payton at the 50-yard line and being like, these guys are not scoring.
Yeah.
They're just not going to do it. And
he was right, yeah.
He was right. They were so passive on the 3rd and 4th downs. Really one of the plays was literally just Drake May throwing it out of bounds. Like, they did not want to take the risk of putting the ball in harm's way, running it on 3rd and 11 up the middle for 2 yards. Yeah, it was beautiful at the start, and then it ended up being a complete snow game. And they just continued to give the ball right back to Stidham and the Broncos, saying, you can't go 30 yards. You're not going to do it. And sure enough, they couldn't.
Is there a Lions, like, any sort of Lion reason to root for either team in the Super Bowl or root against? Just from that angle? Like, maybe if you're a Lions fan, you're a Michigan fan, so you're kind of semi-rooting for Mike McDonald. I guess maybe there's something there.
That could be the case. I can't really think of any reason to root for the Patriots. I'm trying to think if there's any Michigan or Michigan State guys on either of these rosters.
K9 on the Seahawks.
Yeah, and then because we had the K9 Charbonnet battle last night.
So both fan bases, Michigan or Michigan State, got a reason to root for Seattle.
And I feel like people are just still turned off by the idea of the Patriots winning another one. Not that I want to sit here and celebrate a Seahawks Super Bowl by any means. Okay, I think I've got my answer. If the Seahawks win, is Clint Kubiak guaranteed a new job? Or are all the head coaching openings going to be closed by then because we got to wait another 13 days until the Super Bowl?
Right.
I mean, that's a pretty good case. If you're going to be a head coach, hey, I brought Sam Darnold to a Super Bowl and won it, and he was throwing for 300 yards and not throwing any interceptions. I think he should probably be a head coach and get him out of the NFC. That would be my Lions case. Yeah. Get Clint Kubiak out of here.
It's a good case right now. Like, whether or not they win it or not, he's already made a good enough case, getting them to this point.
I don't know. I don't think Lions fans will ever... Lions fans will always be tied to Sam Darnold because it was his first ever career game. He throws the pick six on the first play of the game and then proceeds to just throttle the Lions.
And it's just as much as he's still doing great, it's just fun to kind of make fun of him. It just was. And now we can't anymore. Now he's outgrown that.
Well, he's played better than Drake May the last 2 weeks. Drake May's not looked all that impressive the last 2 weeks. But I don't know. I thought Stafford was pretty incredible down the stretch of that game yesterday. Yeah. Some of the plays, when he ran the ball and took off for, it probably was only 4 yards, but it felt like he ran for 45.
Yeah, that was, I don't know how he avoided that tackle. I'm just happy that we don't have to do for the next 2 weeks.
Are you rooting
for Matt Stafford in the Super Bowl? I'm pretty happy we don't have to do that.
Oh, we would have.
We would have led with it, yep.
Yeah, I don't think Drake May's been all that great the last 2 weeks. I thought he was the best quarterback in the regular season. The last couple weeks in the playoffs, I don't think he's been all that impressive. Doesn't matter now. He's made it back to Santa Clara. Weather should be all right in San Francisco in 13 days. I'm excited for our Super Bowl matchup. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Still got a lot to get to today, obviously. We still have 2.5 more hours. We got the Big Ten title chase. We're officially in college basketball season because the top of the Big Ten standings look incredible right now. We've got our Pistons trade deadline needs. They go 1-1 over the weekend. The loss on Friday night, I think, was very telling of what this team needs to do before the trade deadline in, will that be 10 days from now? 11 days from now? February 6th? We're going to do that around the league. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming up. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. The 9 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by our friends over at Iron Stack Technologies. We talk about the game plan all the time with this show. We're going to be doing it for the Super Bowl. A lot of different ways that Clinton Kubiak could out-scheme the Patriots. A lot of different ways the Patriots can out-scheme this Seattle Seahawks defense, although that seems less likely, to be quite honest, right now. We at Iron Stack Technologies stay secure, stay efficient, and ready for what's next so you can focus on your mission rather than your technology. Iron Stack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. You can check them out at ironstacktechnology.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Every successful team starts with a solid game plan, and your business technology should be no different. Iron Stack Technology helps organizations design, protect, and manage IT systems that perform when it matters most. With a focus on security, reliability, and execution, Iron Stack keeps your businesses ready for the next play. Iron Stack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. Learn more at ironstacktechnology.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. New Year's resolutions, let's stick to them. Want to be more organized? Sterlite brand 15-quart storage totes are $6.99, and select shelving units $79.99 each. Maybe your resolution was to finish that paint job you've been pushing aside. Ace brand paintbrush and trim rollers are 50% off. And make the snow removal process easier. You save $200 instantly on Ego Power Plus snow thrower kits.
From making athletic footwear stronger and lighter to powering the future of electric racing vehicles, material science and R&D are the MVPs of innovation. At Dow, we collaborate with customers and partners to tackle a wide range of sports product challenges with cutting-edge advancements in technology. Dow's innovations can help to improve performance and sustainability throughout the world of sports. Dow, at the intersection of sports and science.
Hi, this is Jim Mahoney with Link Technologies. As a business owner, you might be struggling with today's technological advancements in the IT arena and how they could benefit your growing business. Let Link Technologies' talented staff work with you to develop a technology plan custom to your specific needs. We bring 27 years of experience helping businesses and nonprofit organizations just like yours achieve their technology goals. Contact us today and see how the right balance between cloud and on-premise resources can best work for you.
It's time to think about your pig. You know, the propane tank in your backyard that heats your home. Well, there's no better company to fill your pig than Forward Energy, covering over 20 counties. Forward Energy is a family-owned and operated propane supplier that's fueled area homes, farms, businesses, and hunters and anglers since 1925. Fill your pig this year. Visit forwardenergy.com to find out about new customer pricing and programs.
With Forward Energy.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
If you want a chance to go see the Detroit Pistons and Cade Cunningham, two-time All-Star, we've got the perfect opportunity for you. Big Win Wednesday, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. On Wednesday, January 28th, we're going to give away 2 tickets to the Pistons-Nets game scheduled for February 1st. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday, Pistons tickets, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back into the show, 989-837-6125. Let's get to a couple Mitt messages here. I wouldn't say we were previewing the Super Bowl, but we were talking about the games from yesterday and hitting a couple different storylines now that we're going into the Super Bowl and have our matchup. Super Bowl rematch between the Seahawks and the Patriots. Yes, It is that infamous Malcolm Butler interception game. This one is from Justin. He says, Seattle's success is because of their GM and the contracts that aren't inflated. So there is some truth to that. They don't have the massive broke-the-bank contract like the Lions do with Hutchinson, like they do with Jared Goff. They're handing out money, but Sam Darnold's their highest-paid player, and that is $36 million this year, which is 11% of the league cap, closer to 12%. Yeah. They say most of the time you got to be below 10% or have a Mahomes, a Lamar, and Allen to win a Super Bowl. So the Seahawks are kind of the outlier here, despite them not having this big-time contract. It's not like Sam Darnold's making nothing, but they also get this Sam Darnold contract for the next 3 seasons.
Yeah, it's a really good contract, for sure.
And then, actually, I take that back. It's only a 2-year deal? I could have swore it was a 3-year deal when he initially signed. There's a void year at the end.
He'll get extended, though.
I would imagine. If they win a Super Bowl, they don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look at the top guys on their paid. It's Leonard Williams, it's Nasowu, it's Cooper Kupp, who I guess is making a little bit more money than you'd probably like considering his production. The JSN contract's going to hurt them. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah, I think their GM does deserve a lot of credit. I saw this was, I think the first time, maybe I forget if it was ownership or if it was the GM. I think it was the GM, Snyder. It was the first time that a GM has made it to a Super Bowl with 2 different head coaches.
Same GM, though?
Same GM, John Snyder. Because you think about their draft the last couple of years.
A lot of times they're tied together, too, like GMs and coaches.
Even just the last couple of years, you've brought in Jackson Smith, Nick Jigba. You've drafted Devon Weatherspoon. I mean, their rookie safety, Nick Imanwari. Imanwari. He was all over the place yesterday.
Yeah, he was literally on every single pass that was deflected, or anytime there was a loose ball, it was like, boom, he's there. It's like, where's this guy coming from all the time?
Yeah, he's their version of Brian Branch, just kind of a do-it-all safety. Yeah, I mean, their team's young, and they've done a good job handing out decent contracts. I don't think Seattle's defense is going anywhere anytime soon. So
look, it's no shock that they started to go off in the playoffs as soon as K9 got full bore of the backfield. It's no surprise.
He didn't fill up the box score yesterday, but that first quarter when he had the 10 touches early.
Yeah.
Good God. He was running like a madman.
He's just the king of never going down at the first touch.
No. He runs a little similar to Monty. I think he's going to be too expensive for the Lions to bring him in, but
of course.
That would be a nice addition to the Lions backfield.
Maybe too expensive for the Seahawks to re-sign him.
Oh, he is a free agent. Another text says, who's more down bad, Lions fans because they had so much success in L.A. or Vikings fans for letting Darnold walk? This just has to be the Vikings fans.
We can do the depressive Lions thing, but it's certainly not as bad as Minnesota right now.
And it's not like the Rams are competing to winning another Super Bowl. They lost. Sam Darnold is. Minnesota, I mean, how much do they regret their decision now to let Darnold walk and go with J.J. McCarthy? In hindsight, they should have just traded J.J. McCarthy, tried to acquire, I don't know, some late first-round pick if a team was willing to do it.
Or just they could have just eaten the McCarthy pick and just been like, you know what, we screwed up. Darnold's our QB, though. It could have just been that.
Yeah, and do an Aaron Rodgers thing.
Yeah,
Jordan Love
thing. You know what, he's just going to sit here for a while, and then maybe at some point he goes to another team, but we just have to realize that Darnold's our guy. They probably regretted it in week 5. And imagine what they're thinking right now.
They might have regretted it in training camp watching J.J. McCarthy throw the ball.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm excited for this Super Bowl. I think this should be fun. The Seattle defense versus this Patriots offense that is essentially just Drake May figuring it out.
Yeah.
I do worry a little bit that this could be a blowout. It's a 4.5-point spread. That's what it opened as for Seattle. It's a stadium that they're used to playing in. They do it twice a year. I don't know. There is a recipe a little bit for a blowout Super Bowl, which hasn't happened in a while.
That would stink. I mean, we saw a major blowout in the Super Bowl when Seattle played Denver all those years ago.
You're right.
So Seattle's not used to blowing out teams, or they are used to it. But
I guess last year was a little bit of a blowout.
Yeah, I guess
a lot
it was.
Bit of a blowout.
That's a good point. I think that this Super Bowl is just weird, and it definitely just shows what this NFL season was about the parity, and you didn't really know who was going to make it. And there's not a team to hate against. Us NFL fans, we love to create these storylines where we can root against somebody rather than root for. That's just how NFL fans' brains are wired. Most sports fans in general. And you've just had Mahomes the last 5 years, to be like that team. If you were an anti-Brady person, you had them to root against. Like, you have the Eagles. A lot of people don't like the Eagles. You can root against them. There just really isn't an element of, like, hatred with either of these teams.
You know what I forgot to mention in the opening segment when we were talking about the end of that game? Sean McVay's clock management malpractice when Cooper Kupp had that play that was ruled a first down initially. They showed the replay. It looked like it was really close. Sean McVay calls a timeout hoping that New York would challenge it or that the refs would come in and stop it or something. And then is like, okay, then I'm going to throw my challenge flag. And they're like, well, if you do that, you're actually going to lose your second timeout, which was your last timeout, if you end up not successfully getting the challenge. Right. So he has to stuff that thing back into his pocket. He should have just thrown the red challenge flag right from the jump. And if he was wrong, could have lost a timeout. I don't know why he called a timeout to begin with.
Yeah, I think he thought he would be able to get his challenge back or his timeout back since he would be like challenging it during a timeout, which like in theory I guess makes sense. But also like I think
you're in year 9 of coaching.
Still young.
How do these coaches not? I don't understand how there's still clock management malpractice as often as there is.
Well, and even the
with
refs,
the best coaches in football.
You could literally see it. They had it on the Fox broadcast. Like, McVay's sitting there talking to the ref, and he blatantly says, like, am I going to get my timeout back? And the one ref looks at him and then looks at the other ref because he doesn't know the answer either. Like, none of these guys know all these dumb rules with the challenges and timeouts and all that.
I just think there should be someone on every single coaching staff that's their entire job. It's just a rulebook expert.
Yeah.
Clock management coordinator.
Yes, Madden Pro / know the rules.
McVay's considered one of the best in the league, and that was just a complete failure on his behalf.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that would have flipped the game. I don't know if that would have been overturned regardless, but I do know that the usage of those timeouts
if they had an extra timeout,
it
for sure would have helped them out. Yeah, and like also the special teams of the Rams, man.
All year.
The fact that they let him trot back out there to return a punt after he already bobbled one of them and recovered it, just brutal.
I want to see where they rank in terms of special teams throughout the regular and postseason special teams. The Rams, 25th on PFF.
Yeah, and that's a really good football team. 25th.
Yeah. I have one more big takeaway from this weekend, by the way. I think I'm officially good on the tush push. The Patriots rolled out 2 defensive tackles behind Drake May in an effort to push him forward. And there was such a mass amount of bodies and weight being thrown around that it was impossible to tell where Drake May and the ball was and should have been spotted. I think there was a challenge called on it, and it was borderline impossible to see where the ball was. It's too hard of a play to spot. The camera angles don't show anything. I'm good on the tush push. Let's force these coordinators to get a little bit more creative on 4th and 1.
Yeah.
I think it's become a crutch.
The officials also just don't know like when to blow it dead either. That's such a big thing with the tush push is how long do you let it play out? Because like the one where Josh Allen a couple weeks ago got pushed all the way into the end zone, it was like, dude, in the Eagles game, that's blown dead like a second into it. So it's just, there's too much wrong with it just from like you said, an officiating standpoint.
I've lived in the camp that if you can't stop it, you shouldn't vote to ban it.
Now everyone does it, though.
Yeah,
it was only a thing because it was only Philly that was good at it.
Now it's become a crutch for everybody across the league on 4th and short. It's like no one's creative anymore with what they're doing.
Half these teams use their tight end as the quarterback just to do it. You know, like A.J. Barner comes in and does the tush push for Seattle. Like,
you know what I think works more often than the tush push now is lining up in a regular formation on a 4th and 1, spreading wide receivers out, putting some guys into motion, whatever, and then you just snap in the quarterback like wiggles his way to the C or D gap and picks up 1 yard.
I mean, that's how Brady was always really good at sneaks, you know? Like, that was his whole thing.
Goff had one this year where he did that in an excellent way. Stafford, I think I saw him do it a couple times too. Yeah. All right, 989-837-6125. We'll hit the news. We'll get into the Big Ten title race. A whole lot going on here on the Ben Bosscher Show today. Don't go anywhere. The show, as always, is brought to you by our friends over at Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Protect your home with Bresky Siding and Building Repair, the experts who do the job right the first time. Whether you have a leaky roof, storm damage, the siding looking a little tired, Bresky's got you covered. Locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Isaiah, let's play some word association.
I'm ready.
Spring.
Repairs.
Wind.
Roofing.
Rain.
Gutters.
Leak.
Buckley Satin Repair.
Who do you call?
Ghostbusters.
No, son. Who do you call?
Buckley Satin Repair.
That's right. Don't wait until spring. Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your roofing and gutter needs.
At Aird Insurance Group, they're more than just policies. They're your trusted partners in protecting what matters most.
Whether it's auto, home, life, or business insurance, their team takes the time to understand your needs and find the best coverage for your unique situation.
With personalized service and unbeatable rates, Aird Insurance Group makes protecting your future easy.
Call Aird Insurance Group today and see why their clients trust them to keep them covered.
Aird Insurance Group.
The experience matters.
Hi, this is Kurt Yeiter from Yeiter Insurance Group. When the calendar flips, we all have new goals, new adventures, and new things to protect. At Yeiter Insurance Group, your hometown auto owners insurance agency, they're here to help you enter the new year fully covered. New car, new home, or simply wanting peace of mind for your family. Yeiter's team offers one-on-one guidance to match you with the auto owner's coverage that fits your life. Call Yeiter Insurance Group or visit our website for a free coverage review. Yeiter Insurance Group, your friend in the insurance business.
Blazy Electric is saying thank you to their customers with 10% off all service calls now through at least the end of January. Whether it's a small fix or a bigger electrical need, their trusted service team is ready to help. Just make sure your service call is completed within 30 days of your estimate to take advantage of the savings. For 60 years, Blazy Electric has proudly powered our community with reliable, honest service, and they couldn't have done it without you. Call Blazy Electric today and let them take care of the rest.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. New Year's resolutions, let's stick to them. Want to be more organized? Sterlite brand 15-quart storage totes are $6.99, and select shelving units $79.99 each. Maybe your resolution was to finish that paint job you've been pushing aside. Ace brand paintbrush and trim rollers are 50% off. And make the snow removal process easier. You save $200 instantly on Ego Power Plus snow thrower kits.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
If you want a chance to go see the Detroit Pistons and Cade Cunningham, two-time All-Star, we've got the perfect opportunity for you. Big Win Wednesday, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. On Wednesday, January 28th, we're going to give away 2 tickets to the Pistons-Nets game scheduled for February 1st. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday, Pistons tickets, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back into the show. Hope everyone's having a good start to their week. It's rivalry week. Can we call it hate week? Is that a little too strong? I know they do it on the campuses. I don't know if I want to bring hate into this show.
Come on.
I don't hate either of these schools, you know?
Right, yeah, and we don't hate each other, right?
Well, why would you even bring that up? No, I don't hate you.
Well, I'm just making sure there was nothing going on there, you know?
No, I think we're all good. I think. All right, let's hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, yeah, let's hit the news because there's a lot to go over, including a big-time Pistons win yesterday. Oh, yeah. Bounce back after that game on Friday night against Houston, which, by the way, was a great game, man. I know we're going to talk about that game a little bit, but that Houston Pistons game just had a certain vibe to it. Detroit was unable to win that one, but they bounced back yesterday against Sacramento, 139-116. Big Cade game as well.
Yeah, I'll hold my thoughts on the Houston game from Friday until a little bit later on, because I want to relate that to the trade deadline. But yesterday, I mean, you play this Kings team, and there's genuinely no resistance in getting to the rim. It makes you realize how far along the Pistons are compared to a lot of these other teams in the NBA that are just a complete mess. Yet, really no resistance. Big-time Cade game. It felt like the Pistons were getting anything they wanted in the paint. They were outrunning them. Yeah, great game overall. Never a game they were going to lose.
Yeah. And over the weekend as well, we found out that JB Bickerstaff will be coaching in the All-Star game because no one really knows the format of it still. But shout out to JB Bickerstaff, though. Pretty cool.
I think about the coaching difference that they've had in a 2-year span. They go from the devil reincarnated, Monty Williams. They sign him to the highest. What was that?
The devil might just be Monty Williams reincarnated, honestly.
Yeah, they signed him to the highest paid contract in NBA history from a coaching standpoint. Give him like $76 million guaranteed. And it feels like right from the jump, this guy doesn't even want to be out there coaching. Like truly sabotaging his own team. And I don't even say that as a joke. I say the devil thing is mostly a joke. But this guy was sabotaging the Detroit Pistons. And I don't even think it's debatable. Like anyone who was suffering and tortured themselves by watching that season, you know what I'm talking about. It's one day in the press conference saying, well, we're not going to do the 13-man lineups. We're not going to go 13 deep tomorrow. And then doing it in the first quarter of the game less than 12 hours later on a Sunday. It was doing the all-bench lineups 4 minutes into every game. It was playing 3 bigs on the same floor that couldn't shoot together. Yeah. You had the owner down in the front office asking what the hell was going on. I thought it was an ownership problem. No, it's because the owner just hired someone who was trying to get himself fired, who ended up walking away with, what was it, $56 million that he had to still get paid? Something crazy.
Something crazy. Shout out to Tom Gores, though, for realizing what we all knew. And now we got JB, man. And look, a lot of people, like, this is the part where at some point the criticism for JB Bickerstaff is coming, right? In Cleveland, he was always this guy that was like, yeah, he could put together a really good regular season team. But what about after that, you know? So now we're at, like, the peak of JB Bickerstaff praise right now with the Pistons. I just wonder if it withholds. You know, does it stand? I hope so, because I like him.
I think he's got better personalities here than he did in Cleveland, just in terms of putting egos aside. And because you had Donovan Mitchell, who had success as this 30-plus points per game scorer in Utah. It was his team, and then he joined a different team and kind of just thought it was his. But it was. But then they were trying to get Mobley and Garland more involved, the guys that they drafted. I feel like there's just less clashing personalities here.
Yeah.
In Detroit.
There definitely is.
They've embraced the defense. There's a huge culture shift. There's only one way the Pistons have ever won, and that was with, toughness and Detroit basketball, and they've found a way to tap back into that and embrace that identity under him. So,
yeah, we're going to find out the All-Star reserves on February 1st, I believe. That's when we'll also get just the full we'll get who's coaching the other team as well, because once again, no idea if it's East versus West. On the Pistons broadcast last night, they said JB's going to be coaching the East, but I thought it was U.S. versus everybody else. I don't know. It's confusing. Let's move on.
Wait, one more thing. On February 1st, I'm excited to see if Duren ends up being an All-Star, to have 2 All-Stars. I'm feeling like the answer's no right now, though.
Really? No? What? Like every mock All-Star thing I've been seeing has Duren on it.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like he just hasn't been scoring enough, because sometimes I feel like the All-Star stuff just comes down to who's scoring a lot. And
right.
Obviously, Duren, that's not really Duren's game as much as he can score 20. I don't know. We'll see. I hope so. I feel like the first-place team in the East always deserves 2 All-Stars.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, they're not only first-place team in the East, but they're almost the best record in the league. OKC loses again last night.
They lost twice over the weekend.
Duren 18-10 right now. I don't know. I think he will be. If he's not, people are going to be upset. That's I think how it will go, and I'll be one of them. Let's quickly take a look at the community calendar presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. The Northwood women's basketball team this weekend won their 5th straight game. They are now 15-5 on the season. The men's also picked up a win. Both were at Ohio Dominican, so shout out to the Timberwolves. Okay, I know we're going to talk about it here, so I feel like this would be a good segue into it. Both Michigan and Michigan State picked up wins this weekend. MSU with their most dominant win of the season, 91-48. Jeremy Fears goes for 17 and 17. Just an outstanding game offensively and defensively from the Spartans. They're playing their best basketball right now. Michigan, on the other hand, I don't want to say they're not playing their best basketball right now because they've still still been winning, but it's also because they were playing such elite basketball at the beginning of the year that it's hard to maintain that. Nonetheless, they closed strong versus Ohio State, and it was on Trey Burke's honorary night as well. His jersey gets lifted into the rafters. It's not retired, but it's just being honored, and it's now hung up there. People can still rock his number, but it's...
What the hell's the...
I don't know.
I don't
know.
This entire time, I thought that they hung his jersey in the rafters to retire.
His jersey's being honored. It's just lifted into the rafters.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Maybe they will retire it, because I think Elliot Cadeau rocks number 3 right now, right? So maybe
that's the dumbest thing about. Why would you put a jersey in the rafters that's not retired?
I don't know all the details on it. I just know that it is not an official retirement of his jersey. Nonetheless, though, shout out to Trey Burke. That was a really cool moment. I know a lot of people that were at that game and just said it was just awesome to see Burke back. Obviously a legend of both of our childhoods. I mean, that guy is unreal. Would you disagree?
No, I don't disagree with that. Yeah, I guess I don't really have more to add to that. He brought the Michigan team to the finals, obviously had some of the controversial games, but I just, my mind is blown that his jersey's honored but not retired, hangs in the rafters but not retired.
Yeah.
It's
a bit odd.
I don't understand that. Okay, we'll
save the rest for later.
Let's do some Michigan State stuff. Michigan's got to play Nebraska before that. There was an epic Purdue-Illinois game in the Big Ten, and now the Big Ten standings. A lot of teams crowded at the top. Feels like there's been 5 teams to totally separate themselves. Let's jump into it when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Dow, they're proudly rooted in Midland and making an impact all around the world. Innovations that create solutions for cleaner water, safer homes, and a more sustainable future. A company built on science but driven by people with thousands of employees who call this community home. Supporting local schools, events, nonprofits, because being a good neighbor matters. From the lab to the Little League field, Dow is invested in the places we live, work, and play. Dow, solving with science, standing with community.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Anyela Eichelberger from Saginaw United. With a 3.99 GPA, Anyela is a 2-sport athlete in volleyball and tennis. She serves as a youth ambassador, a stand-up student, and her art is award-winning.
You have art good enough, the teacher will enter your pieces into the show. I did not even know mine was entered into the show. And I actually won 2 awards for the 2 pieces that were entered. The medium I used was color pencil, and it was like a geometric sort of shape, and then the other one was like dot art.
Anyela has been dual enrolled at Delta College in her senior year. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
They know the roads, they know the weather, and they know the community. That's because Forward Energy is fueled by local people who serve the same areas that they live in. Through every sports season and every weather season, they're proud to be on the home team. From automatic deliveries to flexible payment options, Forward Energy makes it easy to stay comfortable all year long. Forward Energy, your hometown propane and fuel supplier since 1925. This winter, the hottest action in Midland isn't on a screen. It's on the court at the Dow Tennis Classic, February 15th through the 22nd. The lights, the speed, the perfect hush just before a match-winning shot. It's all back, and it's more electrifying than ever. Come watch world-class athletes battle for every point, every set, every moment, right here in your own backyard. It's fast, it's fierce, and it is unforgettable. Tickets are on sale now. Visit DowTennisClassic.com. Be there February 15th to the 22nd for the Dow Tennis Classic.
At Scott Family Dental, we treat every patient like family because it's in our name. Our office culture is built on trust, comfort, and care, just like you'd want for your own loved ones. We don't sign contracts with insurance companies, so we can offer the highest quality dental care without compromise. That means your treatment is based on what's best for you, not an insurance plan. Scott Family Dental. Compassionate care, lasting smiles.
Visit scottfamdental.com to schedule today.
Spring will be here before you know it, and now is the perfect time to plan ahead at Maple Hill Nursery. Take advantage of 30% off in-stock outdoor furniture floor models while Maple Hill prepares to welcome exciting new outdoor furniture lines. We're adding Three Birds Casual and Lloyd Flanders to our already fine selection of outdoor furniture, arriving soon. Ordering early means your furniture arrives on time and ready for the season. Visit Maple Hill Nursery in Midland this week and get a head start on outdoor living.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. New Year's resolutions, let's stick to them. Want to be more organized? Sterlite brand 15-quart storage totes are $6.99, and select shelving units $79.99 each. Maybe your resolution was to finish that paint job you've been pushing aside. Ace brand paintbrush and trim rollers are 50% off. And make the snow removal process easier. You save $200 instantly on Ego Power Plus snow thrower kits.
Ready to make your summer unforgettable? Bring your crew to Dow Diamond with special group ticket offerings from the Great Lakes Loons. Whether it's your office, church, team, or family party, there's nothing like being at the ballpark. Private venues, high-end food options, or discounted tickets and food credits for groups as small as 16. Book your group outing today by calling 989-837-BALL or visit loons.com.
From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Big Ten title race. It feels like now that we are through, there's no football on next week. Oh, that's weird. I just realized that for the first time. There's not a single football game on next weekend.
Oh.
Well, that does mean we can pivot towards some college hoops a little bit. The top of the Big Ten standings look incredible right now. There's this 5-team race between Purdue, Illinois, Michigan, Michigan State, and Nebraska. Nebraska sitting at the top right now at 9-0. Michigan, Michigan State, and Illinois both at 8-1. And then Purdue suffered their second straight loss this weekend at the hands of Illinois after they lost to UCLA last week as well. So I'm not going to say they're totally out of it. We established last week that the winner of the Big Ten had 3 regular season losses last year. So if you end up getting your 4th loss, feels unlikely. It's just kind of crazy to me that we've gotten to this point in the season, and it feels like these teams haven't really played each other all that much. We had Michigan State play Nebraska. That was on the road for the Spartans. Barely lost that one. Ugly game. And then we had Illinois and Purdue play this weekend with that Wagner freshman from Illinois scoring over 40 points. Just a crazy performance from him. In Mackey, it was their first win there in like 5 years. There's a lot of good teams at the top of this conference. I'm not going to go as far as say it's the best conference in college basketball because I feel like someone says that every single year. And then, of course, all these teams fizzle out in the tournament. But there's a lot of talented teams here at the top.
I will absolutely go as far and say it's the best basketball conference.
Okay.
The Big 12 is great. It has Arizona. Iowa State is kind of fuddled out a little bit. When Kansas has Darren Peterson, they are for sure one of the best teams in the country as well. But I mean,
BYU still rocking in the Big 12 too.
BYU plays Arizona tonight, by the way, which, wow, I cannot wait for that game. It's in BYU as well. But anyways, I mean, you look at this conference right now, you've got the top 2 offenses in the country who just played this weekend in Illinois and Purdue, which is just awesome to think about. You've got the best 2 defenses in the country in Michigan State and Michigan, who play this Friday. And then you've got one of the 3 undefeated teams left in the country in Nebraska also in the midst of this. Like, you were talking about 5 just elite caliber teams right now. And you look at the schedule that's coming up this week. Obviously, we are going to be doing Michigan State preview all week long because it's such a huge moment for the state, especially with, I mean, this is probably their biggest matchup. I know last year we said the same thing, but I think it's even bigger this year. And then you still got Michigan versus Nebraska tomorrow first, so that's what makes this so awesome. The Big Ten is it felt like last year Michigan State took control of the conference pretty early with several weeks to go. It was like, there's really no chance they lose this. Whereas this year it is going to come down to the wire, and we're going to see a lot of fun matchups for the next couple weeks.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're just destined for some sort of tiebreaker. Some sort of you go into the tournament not really knowing who the 1 seed is truly supposed to be because of a tiebreaker.
Good chance we get co-regular season champs this year, definitely.
Oh yeah, how do they determine who gets the 1 seed? Is it overall record? Is that the first tiebreaker?
That I actually don't really know. I would assume that's what it is, but maybe it's head-to-head. I mean, it's probably a head-to-head first, like if they played against each other. But they will, no matter what, if there's a tie, just give them both the co-champions for the regular season.
Well, we talked about Michigan having a crazy schedule with Nebraska tomorrow and Michigan State on Friday. Take a look at Nebraska's schedule too. They've got Michigan on Tuesday, obviously, and then they play Illinois again, the rematch on Sunday. So there's a chance that Nebraska has 2 losses by the time that we're doing a show a week from today. If they don't win both of those games, Michigan won on the road for them. Nebraska versus Illinois will be in Nebraska. But that's a team that they've already gotten once in Illinois.
Yeah. And then in 2 weeks, they play Purdue. Like, Nebraska's finally going to start to get tested, which I feel bad, saying all that because they have been tested. They played Illinois early. They played MSU a while ago, and they've won both those games. But there's a reason why they're the 5th-ranked team amongst the Big 5 of the Big Ten right now, even though they're undefeated.
It is funny, too, that we say Michigan's not playing their best basketball, which they're not right now. 4 straight wins by double digits once again. They've done it again. They've got to a 4-game win streak all over double digits.
Yeah.
But they have slipped down the KenPom rankings. They're not number 1 anymore. Arizona's reclaimed that spot. They're not even one of the top 2 schools in turn. So there's 2 schools right now that are top 5 in offense and defense. Michigan State and Michigan, neither one of them right now. Do you know who they are?
Well, I mean, Michigan State is not a shock to me. I would assume Arizona's got to be one of them.
Yep.
Probably Duke is one of them.
Correct. That's it.
Oh, it's
those
only
2 schools.
Oh,
yep.
Okay. That makes sense.
Michigan slipped to 8th offensively. Still an incredible defensive team.
MSU's got to be outside of the top 10 on offense, I would figure.
Oh, they're like 48.
Yeah, say it. I mean, that's not a shocker.
But the way that, I guess we've waited too long to bring this up, the way that Michigan State's playing right now, with how hot they are and how they're playing defensively, where it feels like all 5 guys are in sync, the help defense is maybe better than anybody else's in the entire country. Jeremy Fears is playing like Chris Paul. I don't know how, I think it goes without saying, you feel like Michigan State has a legit chance of winning now way more than you did a month ago. A month ago, it felt like, who knows what's going to happen? This could be a bloodbath. Michigan might, slit everyone's throat in their way the rest of the regular season. They've proven to be beatable at the very least. And Michigan State's playing better than they have all year long the last month of the season, holding teams to 40% from the field the last 5 games. Last 5 games, no team has scored 67 points on them. They're on fire right now, and that was their best game of the year against Maryland.
Call me crazy here, but this is the only way we can do this, so I'm not getting that out ahead of myself. Arizona loses tonight.
Okay.
Are Michigan and Michigan State playing for the number 1 ranking in the AP poll on Friday? If Michigan, of course, beats Nebraska tomorrow night? Or is Arizona just not really worth falling that much?
I don't think Michigan State could climb that much.
Right. Yeah,
it could be the top spot for Michigan.
Seems a bit crazy, yeah. I would agree.
There's not a ton of history of these 2 teams playing while they're top 10 games, but now, or top 10 teams, now that seems like all but a guarantee we'll get the official rankings later on today. That plus the element of what happened last year, plus Michigan State winning 5 consecutive games over Michigan. So a lot of good stuff coming up. We'll get to more of it in the 10 o'clock hour. More football on the way as well.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Winning takes preparation, focus, and the right game plan. At Iron Stack Technology, we bring that same approach to IT, helping businesses stay secure, efficient, and ready for what's next. From cybersecurity to managed IT support, Iron Stack builds solutions that let you stay focused on your mission, not your technology. Iron Stack Technology. Solution-driven, mission-focused. Learn more at ironstacktechnology.com.
I'm Doug Cellini, financial advisor with Kings U Partners here in Midland. You've worked hard, played fair, and built a life worth protecting. Now, it's about making sure that people you love are taken care of. I help families bring every part of their financial life together so you can spend less time worrying and more time enjoying what really matters. Because real success isn't just about money, it's about peace of mind. Find me, Doug Cellini, at kingsu.com, Midland office, or on Facebook.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
Bel Air Brown, Dragon's Milk, Mad Hatter, Purple Gang, and Huma Loopalicious. These are names that let the imagination run wild and let the taste buds take a stroll. Welcome to the craft beer craze in Michigan. Bolstered by the Great Lakes and nurtured by the glacier-rich soil, here awaits a brewer's paradise. With fresh hops growing tall in the Old Mission Peninsula, and fresh barley fields sweeping the mitten. Michigan ranks 5th in the nation in the number of breweries, microbreweries, and brew pubs. From Good Harbor Golden to Whitefish Bay Wheat. From Motown Lager all the way to Park Bench Porter, Michigan is serving up a frosty glass of perfection. Whether you want to take in a game with a two-hearted ale or just sit on a front porch sipping a Steelhead Red, let's tap into life at its fullest and treat ourselves to a taste that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
Timeout!
All right! Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Pistons went 1-1 over the weekend. They are still in first place in the Eastern Conference. They've clinched being in first place by the start of February, which is why J.B. Bickerstaff has been named one of the coaches for the All-Star game. Cade Cunningham's been named an All-Star starter. He's the first Piston to do that since Allen Iverson 2009. Things are going well for the Pistons. 32-11. It's pretty good. Here's the issue, Kyle. When they lost to the Rockets, actually they're 33-11. When they lost to the Rockets at home on Friday night, there was a couple glaring holes on this team that became even more apparent. The team's just not a good outside shooting team, and we've known this. It's not been a secret. But when they went up against this Houston team, which has a very similar personality to this Pistons team, they're rough. They're not going to, they're the bullies of the Western Conference. Not in terms of we're beating you every night, but it's tough to score on them. They're physical. They want to push you over. They want to get into a street fight. It's a very similar brand of ball that the Pistons play. And when the Pistons went up against this team, a team that they have beaten already once this season, to be clear, on the road, they go up against this team in the West, and they went down early, and it felt like they could never retake the lead because of the lack of offense from players not named Cade Cunningham. Tobias Harris, the biggest culprit. He goes 1 for 6, 0 for 3 from downtown. The team from a whole goes 7 for 32 from downtown, which is definitely my biggest fear going into a postseason series, that opposing defenses do everything they can, sell out to stop Cade Cunningham, basically tell Tobias Harris and company, knock yourself out from behind the arc. Holland, you want to shoot him from out there. Stu, you want to shoot him from out there. Ivy, you want to shoot him from out there. By all means, go for it. The only guys we're not letting shoot is Duncan Robinson. And just like that, the Pistons get schemed out of a playoff series, even though they have this incredible defense that's going to keep them in every single game. But if the threes aren't falling like they weren't on Friday night, stuff gets real concerning real fast, which ultimately leads to my take of, I think I'm even more in on trading for Michael Porter Jr. now than I was before. I think I've flipped back a couple times. I really wanted him at first. And then I said Tobias Harris is playing all right when they beat the Celtics because he had he had 26 in that game. And now I'm sitting here after Friday, ready to plant my flag one final time. It's time to trade Tobias Harris. Not because he's been such a disaster, but he's just clearly the spot on the team that's the most upgradable. He's the contract that you're willing to move on. He's expiring. He's got the money to match somebody else's salary. It's not that I hate Tobias Harris, but I don't want him to be in the team 2 weeks from today. I'm ready to say it.
Man, tough for Tobias. I mean, look, this is no different than what happened to the Pistons a year ago. They're just they're a better all-around team now. They're an even better defensive team. They've gone from a good one last year to this best in the league type defensive team.
Yeah.
So
difference was last year they had 2 shooters.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. In the playoff series last year, was that not the reason that we sat there and said, oh, man, if they just could shoot the ball better, they would have won? I mean, they had Malik Beasley, who was this insanely good shooter all season long, couldn't hit a shot in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, dang, their defense held them in all those games against the Knicks to the very end. A lot of those games were under 100 scoring games. And so now you've even taken away 2 shooters, added one in Duncan Robinson. So it's like they probably even have less shooting right now as far as in a playoff series go.
For sure. Luckily, Ivy's been lights out from behind the arc.
But that's what I'm getting to. Guys like Ivy and Danis Jenkins, who might be the second and third best three-point shooters on this team. I mean, you obviously have Cade too, but those guys are not going to play big minutes in a playoff series.
No, they'll get hunted defensively.
I mean, those Danis Jenkins probably won't even play in the playoffs. And Jaden Ivey, I mean, he's playing 20 minutes right now. What's he going to get in the playoffs, you know? So it's like...
Played 14 against Houston.
Exactly. So to me, that's the biggest issue is at least last year you had 2 guys that got big minutes. Hardaway and Beasley were 25-plus minute a night guys that for sure. And now you have Duncan Robinson, who's that guy. But in a playoff series, you need to have multiple guys that can shoot. So
And Duncan also is just... I have a feeling we're going to become pretty frustrated with Duncan Robinson in a playoff series because if he's not hitting 4 threes every game,
he's a liability. He's hit 5 threes in 6 straight games or something like that. I actually don't know if he did last night against Sacramento, but he had a bunch in a row where he did. So.
Teams are just going to hunt him in the playoffs though, regardless. He can't really play big time minutes. You want him out there as much as possible.
I mean, he's going to though.
You want him out there, but if I'm just thinking of a potential matchup that could just be a total disaster. Even the Celtics, if Tatum's healthy and they can continue to get switches on a Duncan Robinson, you can only hide him so much in a playoff series.
Right.
You can get away with it in the regular
season. The Knicks will do their best to get Brunson switched onto him, absolutely.
Yeah, you can do your best to hide it in the regular season, but in a series, teams are just going to pick on Duncan Robinson way more than they did Beasley or Hardaway Jr. last year. Not that those guys were incredible defenders, but Duncan's a walking foul.
Right. But nonetheless, Duncan Robinson will play 30-plus minutes a night in the playoffs. No doubt about it. He did for Miami. He absolutely will for the Pistons, and they need him.
Did for Miami some years, and other years he got kind of buried on the bench.
But the Pistons need him even more than Miami did.
True.
Miami at least had these other guys. It was oh, these guys are hitting shots right now? Okay, we'll put them in. No, Duncan Robinson's their only high-volume three-point shooter. It's literally just him. So I'm with you. I just don't know if it's going to come from the Tobias spot. I'm with you that they are going to trade for shooting. I think it's more likely that Karis LeVert is the contract that gets dealt, and it's just a smaller of a trade because a Tobias trade just kind of insinuates it's going to be a big trade because of his contract. There's not many $25 to $30 million making guys in the league that you're trading for that aren't these like big time trades. So I think it's more likely that it's like a LeVert and Sasser for an upgrade shooter spot, because LeVert's in that $18 million range, $16 million, I think. So that's how I think it goes. And Tobias is just so vital to this team from a leadership standpoint. I know it's pretty cliche and everything, but like,
yeah, that 1 for 6 was real helpful, but those leadership skills were real helpful on Friday night. I'm not trying to like dismiss that. I'm sure that's a real thing.
Like
but
you follow the team on social media. You see everything.
They love him. They love him.
He really is, and I get it. Like I think it is just from a general management standpoint, the Tobias Harris contract should be traded. If we're just looking at it from a numbers standpoint, if you don't trade that deal while you have it on the books, it feels like a failure.
That and a team like Houston, which again, very similar personality, or even let's flip it. Obviously, this would never happen, but if the Pistons played the Pistons, would Tobias Harris ever score?
What?
Like, you know what I mean? Like, once there's these lengthy wing defenders that get matched up on Tobias Harris, he can kind of become useless pretty quickly, because it's not like he's some awesome decision maker, move the ball around type of guy. Like, it's not like he's this stopgap in the offense that clogs everything up, but that's not really his game. He's a scorer. He's an isolation scorer, and the Pistons need him to be that. But as soon as an awesome defender gets put on him, which I fear happens in potentially the Knicks series, could happen. They put Cat on him a ton last year.
He was good in the Knicks series last year.
Yeah, he was. But if they want to put like Mikal or OG on him, feels like that's kind of just it for Tobias.
Yeah.
Once there's a good defender on him, he's just done.
That's fair. I also, one thing I don't like about Tobias, but it probably helps him in the long run, at least for the playoffs, is that it feels like it takes something to turn that switch on for him. It feels like something's got to happen for him to like.
Something's got to piss him off.
Right.
And Cat pissed him off last year.
Yeah, and obviously, like, I don't know how did that not work when he was in Philly, because he wasn't great in the playoffs for them, but like it feels like even in the regular season games, it takes something for him to get switched on. And I don't love that. It shouldn't take that, but in the playoffs.
He's an old guy.
In the playoffs, though, that probably helps him. It's a lot easier to get pissed off and to turn that switch on in a high leverage situation.
Yeah, but even a series like the Magic, who just kind of rough you up and foul a ton, like that's not a good series for Tobias Harris in my mind. Although there was a game earlier this year where he was going at Paolo, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think that was one of the games where, like you said, that flip got switched because he was really pissed at Paolo.
Yeah.
He gets pissed at a lot of guys. It does kind of wake him up, but unfortunately, I think, as much as the leadership is important and stuff, it's just a spot that you can upgrade. The Pistons absolutely need more shooting. I thought that was apparent on Friday night, and part of the reason I'm willing to give up Tobias and Ivy for a guy like Michael Porter Jr. to just help out Cade.
Yeah.
It feels like, a team like the Rockets had 3 different guys to throw at Cade between Amen Thompson and Tari Eason and even a Jabari Smith and Kevin Durant when they get switched on him. There's just such long defensive dudes on that team. You kind of look at a Knicks team that is very similar last year, even though that series came down to the wire. It's not like Cade was awesome because they had Mikal to guard him. They had OG Anunoby to guard him. They had all these different options. The Celtics are going to have something similar if Tatum's back as well. You just need as much help around him as possible. And right now it feels like they don't really have that at all. Less so than they did last year. Because at least last year you could run all this crazy off-ball action for Malik Beasley. Duncan's doing that to some extent, but you really want that to be your like secondary offense if Cade's not going? No.
And like I do personally think Duncan is a better all-around player than Malik Beasley was. But like you said, it doesn't really matter just from if he's the only guy, then it's too much pressure on him.
Beasley had also just the irrational confidence last year because he had one of the 10 greatest three-point shooting seasons of all time.
And he had money on himself every game, too. So it's
Can't say that. You can't say that.
I will say, though, I think that what's going to help the Pistons because it feels like the vibe right now of the NBA trade deadline is that, like, it doesn't really feel like much is going to happen. That's kind of the sense that you're getting.
There's some Giannis stuff.
Yeah, but, like, that seems to be said every year.
Well,
right?
some years nothing happens.
That it's like, I don't know. I feel like there's always trades. Like, always trades, you're like, whoa, I didn't think that was going to happen. Okay, like, there's something.
Well, regardless of what trades happen, I'm willing to draw the line at Ron Holland. That guy I said this last week, so it's not like this nuanced take. I'm not trading Ron Holland for anybody at this year's deadline. Anything short of Giannis. Like, unless Giannis is available and they can move off of Ron Holland for Giannis, I'm good on trading
What if
Ron
Wemby
Holland.
was available?
Okay. They should trade Goff for Josh Allen. No, like, I don't want to trade Ron Holland. I think that guy had an incredible weekend. He's embraced everything it means to be a Detroit Piston. They've embraced him as well. Let's talk about that when we come back, because, man, he was incredible against Houston. It felt like he was the only guy who was like, I'm not afraid of these dudes. And then he got ejected yesterday during the game, which was awesome. Great weekend for him. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. 10 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Corning, a global leader in material science right here in Midland. From the glass in your smartphones to innovations that power clean energy and advanced medicine, Corning is shaping the future, but it's not just about the tech, it's also about the people. Corning invests in the community, supports local schools, and creates opportunities that are close to home. With a legacy of innovation and commitment to what is next, Corning is proud to call Midland a part of its story. Corning, creating life-changing innovations, one breakthrough at a time.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Great Lakes Loons. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
Well, a couple things I'll mention. One I'm really proud of is the work we've done on post-secondary education, because when we think about what really transforms an individual's life, it's education. Mm-hmm. That makes such a difference in the ability to be able to have a livable wage, to be able to contribute to your community, to be able to give back. So the work that we've done in the post-secondary space, because we give out a lot of scholarships, but when I got there, I went, it seems like we're just a processor of scholarships. I want to be a promoter of education.
Yeah. Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
It's time to think about your pig. You know, the propane tank in your backyard that heats your home. Well, there's no better company to fill your pig than Forward Energy, covering over 20 counties. Forward Energy is a family-owned and operated propane supplier that's fueled area homes, farms, businesses, and hunters and anglers since 1925. Fill your pig this year. Visit forwardenergy.com to find out about new customer pricing and programs.
With Forward Energy. We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Michigan for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Kyle, I draw the line with Ron Holland. I don't want that guy on any other team but the Detroit Pistons. We did this a couple of weeks ago. It's not a new take, but he did have a pretty noteworthy weekend. He gets ejected from yesterday's game. I could have swore he'd been ejected already this season, but he hadn't. Only Duran and Asar had been ejected.
It was just this season that stat was then. Okay, because I saw that too, and I was like, what about when he fist fought Jordan Clarkson?
No.
And I was like, oh, pretty sure he got ejected during that.
So it's him, Asar Thompson, and Jalen Duran have all been ejected this year.
Stu has not been ejected this year?
Crazy, right?
Wow.
I think he's been
Stu, man.
Yeah, he's got a ton of technicals, but after the first tech, he hasn't gotten thrown out of one yet. Yesterday Ron Holland just straight up shoved one of the Kings players. There's so many Kings players that you've never even heard of that I kind of am drawing a blank on who it was. But they get into like this, the whistle blows. They're both kind of fighting for the ball. They both give each other one push. Kings player's walking away with his hands up, and Ron Holland's like, no, forget this guy, and just two-hand shoves him into the ground and gets ejected from it. Really, it kind of felt like unprompted. I don't think the Kings dude said anything.
Yeah, I think it was Keon Ellis of the Kings.
That's right. It was Keon Ellis, and he gets thrown out. And this is a couple days after. I thought he had a pretty big-time game against the Rockets. He was 13 points. It's not like that's something to, marvel at, but it's just the energy that this guy brings to the Pistons every single night. You feel like it's Game 7 of the World Series. You feel it in transition, how much he just sparks free points for the Pistons with his defensive efforts. He's getting 1.5, 2 steals every single game. He's embraced what it means to be a Detroit Piston. They've embraced him. The Pistons have only ever won in one way, and that's this physical, defensive-minded team. And he embraces all of that. I just continue to think this guy's I'm not trading him for anything short of a super-duper star in this league. That's how important I think he is to this roster.
Yeah, and if that's going to happen, it's certainly not happening at the trade deadline.
Not this year, no.
Like if we get into some off-season talks and there's some bigger trades that are going on, then potentially there. But I'm not doing that at the trade deadline with Ron Holland. Like, not at all. He's such a key piece to this team, man. Like, he absolutely, like you talked about it, in the game against Houston, he just comes in and changes the game.
Yes.
Yeah, now does he have a couple plays as well that you're like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe, but
I feel like those plays are not happening very much anymore, though.
I mean, they still do a little bit, but also he's in a pretty large role. Like, them making a trade that doesn't include Ron Holland helps him because he still shoots a ton of threes from the teams are leaving him open. I don't want to say he shoots a ton of threes, but he
25% from the 3-point line,
and he's been under 20%, I think, in his last 10 games or something.
That would make sense. Yeah,
he still shoots it every time he catches it and he's open though, which I like. He has to shoot him, where it's like Asar Thompson catches the ball on the 3-point line, not even a
he's
thought.
Like, ah!
Yeah. He usually doesn't even catch himself out there anymore, just from a catch and shoot standpoint. So Ron's got to shoot him. I appreciate that. But teams are still just leaving him open.
Yeah, if that were to ever get to 32%, 33%,
nice. Or above 30,
he becomes a really valuable asset. If that's the case, if he ever I'm not asking him to be some lights out, knockdown shooter. Although I still think that's in the realm of possibilities. But if he can just
lights out,
okay, maybe not like Duncan Robinson lights out, but what would you consider lights out from a percentage standpoint? 35,
over 40. Lights out is
okay.
Yeah.
How about just a good 3-point shooter? What are the odds he can be a 33, 34, 35% shooter?
An average shooter, yeah.
If he can just be an average shooter, I think he becomes a pretty valuable asset. 20 times more than he is right now. That's why I want to hold on to him, because I'm still banking on that to happen, whether he's helping the Pistons win or whether he's just a bit a bigger fish to put on the trade block and get somebody else. I think trading him at this year's deadline would be pretty much malpractice, which there's not really any evidence that Trajan Langdon would do anything like that. There's also no evidence or hints that Trajan Langdon will do anything because he doesn't talk ever. And when he does, it is the most simplistic ChatGPT don't reveal anything answers ever.
Yeah, I like that. I think your best point about the Ron Holland thing is that, if you even are, it's not the fact that you can't ever trade him. It's just now is not the time.
No, it doesn't make sense
to. His value is only going to continue to grow. That's why if, a year from now or in the offseason there's some bigger trade that comes out, maybe you could talk me into it. Right now, though, no, not at all, especially just from the imprint that he has on this team. He fits everything that the Pistons are so good at.
And you felt that, even before he got ejected yesterday, Pistons put up 139 and blow out the Kings. Even before he had ejected, he had double digits in 21 minutes. He had the 4 rebounds, the 2 assists. He was forcing transition points, had a steal. Kind of just comes into the game and it's just an energy ball and just wreaks havoc on pretty much everything. Opposing teams have to hate when that guy checks into the game. And you could feel it against Houston. You could feel it against the Kings. That they probably hate everything because they suck. But Ron Holland just comes in and just destroys the other team. Just annoying, pest. But he's actually a good defender. It's not just the pesky stuff. I thought he had a pretty good weekend in terms of his stock.
Yeah, like you said, you can feel that in a playoff series, which even this happened last year against the Knicks as well, but you can feel like he is going to make plays in a playoff series that are just going to be sparks, that are going to cause runs, and that's what the Pistons are going to need when their offense is not going to be their strong suit in the playoffs. So, yeah, I'm with you.
And then forget what he brings to the court, too. I just love that we have not one but 2 guys on our team that are just willing to throw hands with anybody at any given point. He's excited to do it.
Well, you can't have one guy. If you only have one, you have to have. You're right. You have to have 2 guys because then it just becomes obvious of the guy who's going to get in the fight every time.
I think he's actually taken maybe the crown from Isaiah. Isaiah Stewart's always looking for shenanigans, but I think Ron Holland might have taken the cake as the guy who's actively seeking a fight pretty much every single game and is excited about it. Stu at least knows when to calm down. He'll put the face, the fist in someone's face as if hey, if you want to meet me outside, I will beat your ass. Yeah. But Ron Holland just is, we saw it yesterday, just ready to fight at all times.
Well, yeah, they always have to hold him back. Even on that play in the Houston game, he got into it with Jabari Smith. And Smith was over there on the Pistons bench, and Kate
was ridiculous,
just doing everything to hold him back.
That play was, you can tell that the other teams hate him based on just that alone. Because Jabari Smith is on top of Asar or on top of Ron Holland as they're getting up, and then on the way up, just kind of shoves him one more time, and knowing that he's going to get held back by his own bench, just kind of stares off at him like he's all tough.
He got the tech,
Jabari Smith.
He got teed up for it. But the part that sucked about that, by the way, which Pistons fans should have a little bit of beef with Jabari Smith if you're a real diehard Pistons
Summer League
fan.
Game.
The Summer League game where he was cooking James Wiseman and just hot mic every time. You could just hear him just talking to James Wiseman. Jabari Smith, by the way, after that tech, just started having an awesome game. That's the part that sucked about that. It was man, he was just making plays after that.
If you're going to shove someone, do it in the middle of the court, not right in front of the other team's bench when they're all going to hold him back. Because I promise you, that guy was getting swings thrown at him from Ron Holland if 6 different Pistons staffers didn't instantly hold on to Ron Holland.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, too, just as far as him fitting that dog mentality, we're sitting here saying, Trajan Langdon, blah, this and that. Javonte Green, maybe the most underrated pickup of the offseason. That guy, man, I love Wu. He plays such a big role on this team, too. Him and Ron are very similar. Javonte's a better shooter, but Chris in the YouTube chat says all the GMs in this town are the same. Don't talk, don't make big moves. I don't know. I'm not going to be mad if the Pistons don't make a big move, because what is the big move to make?
Michael Porter Jr. Here's what I texted you and Brad yesterday.
I just don't know if it's going to happen, man.
I texted you and Brad this on Friday, actually, during the Pistons game. Michael Porter Jr. has a chance to be our Mark Aguirre. He has a chance, and not that Ron Holland's, or not that Tobias Harris is causing problems the way that an Adrian Dantley was, where he just didn't really fit. This is the opposite of that. Tobias fits in with the culture and the personality of this team to a T. But if you can move off of that and find your Mark Aguirre, who's just this unselfish player who's going to help unlock the offense, the key piece that puts them over the top and allows them to get through the Eastern Conference and beat the Celtics, you got to do it. You got to pull the trigger on it.
We're saying MPJ's unselfish?
I don't think Michael Porter Jr. plays a selfish style of basketball. He's not an assists guy. If that's right. If selfish means passing the ball a lot, then I don't think that's necessarily what he is.
It was mainly just a joke.
It's not like he's some vacuum where he gets the ball and then you never see it again. He's there to, hey, if I catch the ball and I have an inch of room, I'm letting it rip. And they kind of need someone to do that.
For sure.
Because they don't really have that other than Duncan. 989-837-6125. Pistons, another West Coast trip this week. I don't love it. I really don't like when they hit the West Coast.
Well, they're hitting the mountains.
They are hitting the mountains. What is it? Golden State, Denver this week?
They go Denver, Denver's game got canceled the other night because of the weather, too.
There's a bunch of games that got canceled because of the weather.
Denver Tuesday, and then I think Golden State the next day.
Schedule gets a lot tougher here the next month or so. They had somewhat of an easy schedule in December and January. It gets a little tougher. Yeah, it's at Denver, at Phoenix, which that's just going to be a good game if all the personalities are still playing
Booker's
there.
out.
Oh, yeah, Booker hurt himself again.
Booker got hurt, yeah.
And then Golden State before they return home. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be happy with 2-1 on this road trip.
I mean, I don't know. You're playing Denver without Jokic. You're playing the Suns without Booker, and you're playing the Warriors without Butler?
The Suns are tough. The Suns are not an easy pushover team, even without Devin Booker.
Sure.
And then the Warriors are just, I don't know, just win one of those two games.
That's a 3-0.
Okay. I hope so. And then they come home, play the Nets and the Nuggets. We'll see if Jokic is healthy by then. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. We'll take a trip around the league when we come back. Hey, we talk about all the time having a home field advantage. Seahawks home field advantage. Exquisite yesterday. Although they keep making a big deal of the 12th man, the 12th man, the 12th man. It's so loud. Then why does Arrowhead have the record for the loudest stadium in the NFL?
Dude, the post game, all when it was the owner and then Snyder and then McDonald, I think they said the word 12 like 1,000 combined times.
I don't get
it's
it though.
Funny though,
because
that's their whole thing.
But they claim to be the loudest, the hardest place to play in the NFL, but they don't have the decibel record. The stadium literally built to have a loud decibel number. Doesn't have the decibel record. I don't know. Well, your home or business uses propane. If they do, the company with your advantage is Forward Energy. Since 1925, they've been serving our local community with propane and fuel solutions for homes and businesses. Local people, reliable service. That's Forward Energy, part of the home team.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. This winter, the hottest action in Midland isn't on a screen. It's on the court at the Dow Tennis Classic, February 15th through the 22nd. The lights, the speed, the perfect hush just before a match-winning shot. It's all back, and it's more electrifying than ever. Come watch world-class athletes battle for every point, every set, every moment, right here in your own backyard. It's fast, it's fierce, and it is unforgettable. Tickets are on sale now. Visit DowTennisClassic.com. Be there February 15th to the 22nd for the Dow Tennis Classic.
Spring will be here before you know it, and now is the perfect time to plan ahead at Maple Hill Nursery. Take advantage of 30% off in-stock outdoor furniture floor models while Maple Hill prepares to welcome exciting new outdoor furniture lines. We're adding Three Birds Casual and Lloyd Flanders to our already fine selection of outdoor furniture, arriving soon. Ordering early means your furniture arrives on time and ready for the season. Visit Maple Hill Nursery in Midland this week and get a head start on outdoor living.
When you go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan, lose yourself in nature and find yourself at peace. Soak up the stillness of winter on glistening trails or glide along an outdoor ice rink. Take charming carriage rides through snowy streets. Embrace the magic of the season and warm up with comfort food and handcrafted beverages. There are moments of pure greatness all around if we linger long enough to soak them in. Find yours at gogreat.com.
Midland Eye Care wants you to know, according to a recent study conducted by the AOA, the Optical Laboratories Association, and the Vision Council, nearly half of all glasses ordered online had either prescription errors or failed to meet minimum safety standards. Midland Eye Care offers a full-service optical department meeting all your eye care needs. So call your local Midland Eye Care and avoid incorrect prescriptions costing you time and money. Midland Eye Care, your vision source on Eastman Road in Midland, on Cedar and Gladwin, and on East Washington and Freeland.
Need a unique, versatile space for your next event? From the moment you arrive at Dow Diamond, it's easy to see how it's more than just a baseball stadium. With private areas for groups as small as 30 to large-scale events for 300 plus, even full-service catering, Dow Diamond has you covered. From trade shows, corporate meetings and seminars to holiday parties, high school proms, and weddings, book Dow Diamond for your next event. Just call 989-837-2255 or visit dowdiamondevents.com.
Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
If you want a chance to go see the Detroit Pistons and Cade Cunningham, two-time All-Star, we've got the perfect opportunity for you. Big Win Wednesday, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. On Wednesday, January 28th, we're going to give away 2 tickets to the Pistons-Nets game scheduled for February 1st. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday. Pistons tickets, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989-837-6125). Let's hit a Mitt message right here, and then we will take a trip around the league. Got a text that says, why are we acting like this team hasn't won 33 of 44 games? You're saying nobody on the team besides Cade is worth giving minutes to in the playoffs? No, that's not what I'm saying. You got to be able to recognize when a team is flawed. Like there's been a countless number of number 1 overall seeds that run into one player and it doesn't go well for them. The Hawks did it, the Raptors. Maybe I'm just naming all the teams that were the 1 seed when LeBron was in the East. The difference is I think this year the Pistons have maybe the best player in the Eastern Conference, depending on how this thing plays out with the Celtics and Jaylen Brown and Tatum. They don't, no matter what, Cade's not going to have the experiences those guys. So maybe in the playoffs this starts to shift a little bit more in favor of them. But they just need someone else to come help spark their offense. That's all.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious, especially when you look at the other top teams in the NBA and you just remember what happened in last year's playoff series.
To the Pistons.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, let's take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
All right, initial thoughts on the Super Bowl, storylines that we're excited for. We've got 2 weeks to talk about this game, but just initial reactions to Patriots versus Seahawks, the rematch of Super Bowl 49. Storylines. My first one is the fact that it is just a rematch between these two teams. Especially, it's not just that they played in a Super Bowl, it's the way that it ended with Malcolm Butler stealing this thing from Seattle, to where Seattle fans the entire time are thinking, oh my God, we're going to win the Super Bowl, just for it to get pulled from you just like that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, it's not just a rematch. It's that game. Like, these fan bases have, and it's the last 2 times that they faced off, obviously, in the Super Bowl. So, like, these fan bases clearly have a history. There's not people around from that game, so there's no players or, the coaches are different, but it's still, the fans are all the same. Like, those Seattle fans, imagine how they feel about the Patriots after how all that went.
Well, you know who is still there? John Snyder,
correct.
The GM.
Yeah.
Owner as well. Like, Robert Kraft's still there. It's not like that's gone anywhere. They still have that history between the two franchises.
Right.
So that would be my number 1 storyline.
I think my number 1 storyline is just like, what do we do if Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl? Like, and this is not even like a dig at him, right? But you just look at the Super Bowl history, and you look at the quarterbacks of those teams. Jalen Hurts, I think, is a little bit of an interesting one.
The people were acting absolutely ridiculous after Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl. Oh, he's got to be a top 3 quarterback. He just won a Super Bowl. Like, what? No.
But also that was a clear situation of just like Jalen Hurts is not the reason Philly's winning the Super Bowl. Sam Darnold is one of the, if not the top reason they're winning the Super Bowl. You know, like he has to go ball out like he did against the Rams.
Yeah.
Right? And so
yeah, I
then
think
you see all the
JSN has
other
a pretty good chance.
You see all the other quarterbacks: Mahomes, Stafford, Brady, Nick Foles. You know, that's kind of it. But that's an odd situation. I just think Darnold is in his own group of like he's not the Jalen Hurts group where it's like he's just doing the bare minimum and the rest of the team is so good to win the Super Bowl that it doesn't matter. Darnold's not doing the bare minimum, but he's also not the Mahomes and Brady's and Staffords. So it's like
we're not going to like throw him into a top 10 quarterback argument after this game.
I don't know. Are we? Like that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I think it's weird.
I don't know. I think we need some more time to think about this one. Good thing we have 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What if he wins the Super Bowl? They win like 40-3. And it's
Everybody's
like, yeah, but I want to see what he looks like without Clint Kubiak. Yeah. That becomes the new.
I don't
thing.
really know. He did lead the league in turnovers.
Yeah, that's the thing I can't really see past.
What if our whole bit is still just like, I don't know, that Week 18 game against the Lions? I just he couldn't come up in the big
game that mattered to us.
The big game, you know. Super Bowl.
My next storyline is Mike versus Mike. Mike Vrabel versus Mike McDonald. Who's the best Mike?
Right.
In the NFL from a coaching standpoint?
Not Mike McCarthy?
Not Mike McCarthy. Well, it's funny.
Mike Tomlin?
Oh, yeah. The Steelers replaced their Mike with a different Mike, and it's not the right Mike to get them to a Super Bowl. Also, did you realize Mike beat Sean in both coaching matchups?
Which Mike?
Mike Vrabel beat Sean Payton. Mike McDonald beat Sean McVay.
Oh, wait. It was two Mike versus Sean's.
Yeah. And the Mikes came out on top.
I did not realize that. That's actually so cool.
It kind of is.
That's my favorite. Yeah, that's my new favorite storyline.
I do think, where I don't want to overreact to the Sam Darnold one, I do think whoever wins this Super Bowl, like, we probably should overreact a little bit from a coaching standpoint. Because it's pretty remarkable what both of these guys have done in two completely different ways. For Vrabel, it's take over a team that had 4 wins last year, have the MVP, or one of the MVP finalists, and make it all the way to the Super Bowl. I know the schedule's been weird. It's been goofy. But, I mean, if they win it, what are you possibly going to say?
Like, top 3 coach for whoever wins the Super Bowl? We rocking with that? Right? I think we have to. Because top 5 just feels like duh. You know, like, I think they might just already both be top 5.
I think Vrabel already was. Mike McDonald this postseason is skyrocketing up the list. Then I was hesitant to give him a coach of the year or anything because I thought the team was good last year. And then they bring in Kubiak and the offense kind of turns around and Darnold. But, I mean, what they're doing defensively is it's nuts. I love watching that safety.
wait, how do you say it?
Amari?
Emanwari?
Emanwari.
Yep. You'll get it.
He's so fun.
Yeah, he's really fun. He's huge, man.
He was awesome at South Carolina, too, last year. I remember watching him just come lay the boom on everybody.
Where are you, Dad, with a pretty good YouTube chat here, with us talking about Sam Darnold, saying, like, what do we do if he wins the Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
He says it almost shows you that Goff could win a Super Bowl.
Sure. Oh, I love this.
Hey, man, that's a great point.
Absolutely.
Darnold's in a case of his own.
Why is it? Because Brad, is it because he has over 10% of the salary cap? So does Sam Darnold right now, 12%.
All right, let's keep it focused. Let's keep it locked in here.
You got one more storyline?
God, I just had one in my head, too, and now I'm struggling to remember what it was. But nonetheless, God, what was I going to say? I had a really good one. That just distracted me.
What, us talking about the 12% of the salary cap?
I think the Goff stuff really threw me off. Do you have any other ones?
No, that's pretty much it.
Man, I had a good one, too. I was so ready for it.
Was it a Patriot? Was it a Drake May's wife? Was it a
Ooh, I think
JSN?
It was. Wait, Drake May's wife?
Yeah, isn't she, like, famous for some reason?
Is she?
I don't know. I think she, like, makes cookies or something.
I mean, also, though, like, we're talking about the quarterback. I think she makes okay. I also want to say, we're talking about Sam Darnold, what if happens with that quarterback talk if he wins. What about with Drake May, man? Year 2.
Oh, Drake May
wins the Super Bowl and like either runner-up for MVP or wins the MVP? Like,
basically,
what are we talking about? This is crazy.
Undertaker throws Mankind off the Hell in a Cell into the announcing table. That's Drake May to Josh Allen if if he is to win the Super Bowl. If he wins this thing and an MVP before Josh Allen can even get to a Super Bowl, yeah, we've got a new like golden boy quarterback in the NFL for sure. I don't like you thought I was absolutely insane for suggesting Drake May should be ahead of Josh Allen, and I said, well, not who I'd rather have, but who this
for
year.
The other Drake May thing.
Oh, for saying Drake May should be traded for Jared Goff and Hutchinson? Yes. I would do that. Yeah, I still would.
Yeah, I understand that, but just the thought of that topic is so stupid.
Because it would never happen.
Correct.
It was more so to tell everyone how awesome Drake May was, which he is.
He is. Brad says, by the way, sub 12% of the cap QB boys are up. Darnold's 11.96%.
Oh,
so he is.
So true.
So he is right. Man, I'll think of that. I'll think of whatever I had to say later.
All right, 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live on the Mitt. It's rivalry week. We've got Michigan State on Friday. That's going to air right here on 100.9 The Mitt. We've got Michigan versus Nebraska tomorrow. Should be a fun week. Still got Super Bowl matchups to get to. Still got our Pistons in first place. Same with the Wings. More on that when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Hey, if you were out of town this week and you got back in town this week, now you're like going to work and you're like, oh my God, there's so much salt on the road. My car's dirty. You don't want to roll up new date to work. You want to roll up with a dirty car.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that. So if you got a dirty car, head over to Tommy's Express Car Wash. Give your car the glow up it deserves at Tommy's Express Car Wash. Fast, friendly, and freakishly good at cleaning. Roll in dirty, roll out sparkling. It is, in fact, that easy. High-tech wash tunnels, eco-friendly soaps, and a ride that looks showroom fresh in just a couple minutes. If you sign up for their Unlimited Club and wash as often as you want, because clean cars just drive a little bit quicker, a little bit faster. You pick your date up and they're going to be like, oh my God, you have a clean car. You must have went to Tommy's Express Car Wash. No appointments, no nonsense, just quick, clean, and kind of addictive. It's Tommy's Express Car Wash. Locations in Midland, Saginaw, and Flint.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
Well, a couple things I'll mention. One I'm really proud of is the work we've done on post-secondary education, because when we think about what really transforms an individual's life, it's education. Mm-hmm. That makes such a difference in the ability to be able to have a livable wage, to be able to contribute to your community, to be able to give back. So the work that we've done in the post-secondary space, because we give out a lot of scholarships, but when I got there, I went, it seems like we're just a processor of scholarships. I want to be a promoter of education.
Yeah. Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
When you're craving something fresh, flavorful, and made with care, you're craving Pizza Baker.
At Pizza Baker, every pizza starts with quality ingredients. Handmade sourdough, premium toppings, and sauces crafted in-house. Then it's all baked to perfection in our wood-fired oven, giving every bite that signature Pizza Baker taste. From classic Neapolitans to unique specialty creation, there's something for everyone. Dine in or grab it to go. Your perfect pizza is just a short visit away.
Pizza Baker, trust me, you're going to love this pizza.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. New Year's resolutions, let's stick to them. Want to be more organized? Sterlite brand 15-quart storage totes are $6.99, and select shelving units $79.99 each. Maybe your resolution was to finish that paint job you've been pushing aside. Ace brand paintbrush and trim rollers are 50% off. And make the snow removal process easier. You save $200 instantly on Ego Power Plus snow thrower kits.
This winter, the hottest action in Midland isn't on a screen. It's on the court at the Dow Tennis Classic, February 15th through the 22nd. The lights, the speed, the perfect hush just before a match-winning shot. It's all back, and it's more electrifying than ever. Come watch world-class athletes battle for every point, every set, every moment, right here in your own backyard. It's fast, it's fierce, and it is unforgettable. Tickets are on sale now. Visit DowTennisClassic.com. Be there February 15th to the 22nd for the Dow Tennis Classic.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Michigan.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
If you served, we want you to get the health care and benefits you earned. We want you to come to VA.
There's never been a better time to apply. Under a new law called the PACT Act, we've expanded VA care and benefits to millions of people who served and their survivors.
No matter where you served or how long you served, check out va.gov/PACT to learn more about what VA can do for you and your family. Come to VA.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Let's wrap up the Pistons conversation here with Jaden Ivey, because he wasn't really someone who was thrown around a whole lot in those first two conversations that we had. Here's the deal with Ivey. He's become a better shooter than I could have possibly imagined. On the season, he's 46% from the field, and from the three-point line, 38%. That's pretty good. That's more than I anticipated. The issue is that's kind of his best asset right now. Like, that's kind of his best attribute. I'm glad he's out there when he's ripping threes, but he doesn't really do much else. And if that's a casualty to the trade deadline too, someone that just gets thrown into a deal, just because a different team is betting on his upside, I'm completely fine moving off of him. Completely fine. He doesn't play.
I think that I agree with you, and I think most people would agree with you if they realize he's just going to be off the team in the offseason no matter what. There's a really good chance that Ivey's just gone. He's a restricted free agent, and yeah, a lot of these times these guys don't actually get offer sheets from other teams. We saw, if you're an NBA follower, in this past offseason, there was so many restricted free agents that just returned to their team late in the offseason because no one wanted to give out that restricted free agency offer. Mm-hmm. So maybe Jaden Ivey would come back on like a one-year deal next year, if anything, but they're not going to sign him to some long-term contract. One, because why would Ivey sign it? Right? He has played pretty well.
Yeah, he probably wishes he had 10 more minutes a game.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, why would Ivey sign it? I think he realizes, like, I'm not signing a long-term contract because he's played really well. Like, he's been a great three-point shooter. He just doesn't play a lot. And so there's no sense really for him to sign it. It doesn't really make sense for the Pistons to, one, overpay him, but two, give him a long-term deal. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense anyways. So
no, especially in today's apron world where you can't really go over a certain number.
Unless the Pistons are like, hey, we'll sign you to a 4-year deal, and then all of a sudden, as soon as he signs it, hey, you're back to playing 30 minutes a game. That
doesn't make any sense to do that.
And it would make sense for the Pistons because he would outplay his contract the second he started playing. But anyways, that's why it seems so much more likely that he gets dealt. The guys continue not to play. He's playing well, so his value's still there. Teams could for sure want to take a swing on him, especially a team like Brooklyn. Like that, they could view him as maybe the best young asset they'd get in any Michael Porter Jr. trade.
Last 5 games, 11 points, 8 points, 7 points, 7 points, 5 points for Jaden Ivey. Same thing with minutes, 17, 14, 18, 17, 21, and 17.
Hasn't played bad. He just doesn't play.
But is somewhat essential right now to the roster because of how much he spaces the floor. So it's like this weird area where you're kind of towing the line of he's awesome, he's great at one specific skill set, but it's not really matching up to what the Pistons once anticipated he was going to be next to Cade Cunningham. I mean, he averaged 17 points a game last season before he got hurt. Like him and Cade were the backcourt.
Yeah, he was the second scorer on this team.
Before he got hurt, it was Cade and Ivey, and that was kind of it. Like Asar and Duren was kind of down the ladder in terms of the importance scale, but they weren't winning a ton of games when Ivey was playing. And I still don't really think it's like, hey, Ivey sat down and got hurt and they instantly started winning. Like I still don't really think it's that, but I think these two teams, the team and the player, I think they're just bound to go their separate ways here.
Yeah. I mean, it's been very clear that the guy next to Cade Cunningham has to be an extremely high-volume three-point shooter.
Mm-hmm.
We've saw it the last 2 years, whether it's Tim Hardaway, Beasley, you have Schroeder, who I guess was another guard that played next to him, and now obviously Duncan Robinson, which Ivey, he's knocking down his shots. He's a good three-point shooter. That's not his, game. The guy next to Cade, that's got to be his game,
Yeah.
And then Asar Thompson as this all-world defender. So it's like, where does Ivey fit into the mix? Now, could he still get more minutes off the bench? Of course. That could be the play.
That would also require some other people to not be on the team, though.
Right. And so if they don't move Ivey, then I don't know what happens. Do we just continue this weird rotation throughout the rest of the season? I don't know. It's working, so it's not like there's an issue with it, but it just feels like, Ivey's time has come to a close in Detroit, which sucks because, I still
drafted
like
5th
Ivey.
overall to be the guy.
I still like him too, man. This isn't one of those things where it's like trade Ivey now.
No. I don't feel that way with Tobias Harris either. It's just if you can find an upgrade for a 2-for-1, I have no problem throwing those two guys together, LeVert in there as well, to just try to get something to match up.
It probably benefits both parties for Ivey to be moved on from. But it's not like there's a weird thing going on. It's a tough – it's just an interesting situation.
Are you MPJ or bust?
No.
Do you view MPJ as your top guy, though?
Yeah.
On the ladder?
I think so.
As long as are we working under the umbrella that Giannis is off the table and not going to get traded?
And even if he does, the Pistons are not even picking up the phone.
What, a little Ron
Trajan
Holland,
Langdon is not picking up the
Jaden
phone.
Ivey.
They have a package for sure.
Stu.
See, now we're just I know it's Giannis, but
I think we might just be overthinking it. You have a chance to have Giannis and Cade. Who's stopping them in the East?
The Pistons are the best team in the East right now. Trade all your depth.
I just don't know who would stop that. This is also a fantasy conversation.
It's not happening. Porter Jr., I think, will be the best player impact-wise that's traded at the deadline. Yeah, obviously, the Ja Morant stuff is there. Sure, he's got all-stars.
Ja's not getting traded. He's hurt.
I'm just saying, though, you have other guys that are in the mix to be traded, but Porter Jr. will likely be the most impact guy. Maybe Brooklyn doesn't even move him because they could just do it in the offseason, too. That's totally an option.
Yeah, but then you have one less year of him and becomes less valuable.
Right, exactly.
If you do it, he maximizes value now because you get a year and a half of you get 2 playoff runs rather than one.
I'm not MPJ or bust though. I would still like to, if you're not going to trade Harris for him, then I would still like to move the LeVert contract for just a more all around shooter.
And Malik Monk kind of put a show on yesterday for the Kings when they were in town. That's a guy that I wouldn't be mad about if the Pistons traded for.
They were tied to him all offseason.
Not necessarily like a high-volume three-point shooter, but capable of knocking it down and can put it on the floor a lot more than most of the other options can right now on the Pistons. And usually once a week puts on a pretty nice highlight, just dunking on somebody. Yeah. All right. 989-837-6125. We'll get to some more Detroit Pistons as the week goes on. I want to pivot back to a different basketball, college basketball, because the Big Ten title race is it's heating up this time of year. And I'm excited for what we have in store this week from a Big Ten Hoops standpoint. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Who doesn't love a great accessory? Your furnace can have them too. Stuffy nose or dry skin? There's an accessory for that. A whole home humidifier. Allergies or dust driving you crazy? We've got an accessory for that too. A whole home air cleaner or purification system. Want added peace of mind for your family's safety? Yep, there's an accessory for that. A dependable CO monitor. At Answer Heating and Cooling, we have the answers to all of your indoor air quality needs. Give us a call or send us a request on our website.
Broken appliance? Don't panic. Call Mr. Appliance. With a 4.9-star Google rating, our expert service professionals deliver speedy service with a 1-year done-right promise, so you can count on long-lasting repairs. We treat your home or business with care, no mess, and no trace left behind. Ask about our appliance wellness program to keep things running smoothly year-round. Visit us online at MrAppliance.com for easy online scheduling and local contact information. Mr. Appliance, speedy, trusted, guaranteed.
Suit up, Sea Captain. At Dive and Glide in Midland, we've got all the gear you need to make a splash. Flippers that fit like a glove, masks that show you the underwater magic, and tanks ready to fuel your next adventure. Whether you're snorkeling the local lakes or dreaming of ocean depths, Dive and Glide has your back and your fins. Find us on Cambridge Street or swim over to diveandglideinc.com. Dive and Glide, making waves one splash at a time so you can dive deeper than ever before.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think if the Pistons trade for Michael Porter Jr., they are winning the Eastern Conference. I think just because the Lions missed the playoffs this season doesn't mean there's any need for big-time changes when it comes to the regime of Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and Jared Goff for that matter. I think every time we see this Michigan basketball team take the floor, we are witnessing one piece of what could be a historic season. And I think if you agree or disagree with anything I just said, you should listen to The Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon.
You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
I am so sad that I just came to the realization there's no football on next week. Or this week. This weekend. Not a single game of the greatest sport known to mankind being played this weekend.
I mean, it's almost over.
I know. There's only one more. But that's not until 2 weeks from yesterday. Now it's time for us to focus a little bit more on college basketball. Specifically this Big Ten. Because look at the top of the Big Ten standings right now, everybody. You got Nebraska at the top, who's undefeated. They'll play Michigan tomorrow. You've got Michigan, who's sitting at the top with 1 loss. You've got Michigan State, who's sitting at the top with 1 loss. And then you've got Illinois, who has 1 loss. That is to Nebraska. And now Purdue, after this weekend, 2 losses after they lost to UCLA and Illinois in back-to-back games. I feel like any one of those 5 teams can go on to win the Big Ten. There's a reason Nebraska's ranked at the bottom with all these teams. They didn't really have to play anybody in the non-conference. They do have some nice wins over Michigan State and Illinois, but I don't know. We'll see what happens here. They were without their 6th man over the weekend against Minnesota, Braden Frager. He's their 3rd leading scorer. We'll see if he's in action tomorrow against Michigan. He's got a sprained ankle, so we'll see. I think there's a pretty good chance by the end of the weekend, though, that Nebraska either has 1 or 2 losses with a Michigan game and then a rematch with Illinois on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, what? Nebraska's 10-point underdogs against Michigan tomorrow?
Crazy.
I don't want to be a hater, man, because it's a really cool story. That's definitely not what I'm trying to do. But I think that if it's Nebraska, it would be really hard to see them winning the conference outright. They're still going to be a top conference or team in the tournament and everything, but they are undefeated right now, so we got to give them that. But nonetheless, you got a taste of what's coming in Big Ten play this weekend with that Illinois-Purdue game. I mean, talk about an awesome game. You got, like you said, that freshman Wagler dropping 46 points on him.
Mm-hmm.
Braden Smith still had himself a huge game. That game just totally rocked. The 2 best offenses in the entire country. You've got the 2 best defenses taking on each other on Friday. The schedules are heating up for both MSU and Michigan, and what a great way to start it with, obviously, the game on Friday.
Am I crazy, or has Purdue had the same core of their 4 best players for 8 consecutive seasons? Or does it just feel like that because no other team is able to keep together a core the way that they have?
Yeah, that's a prop to Matt Painter and Purdue. Braden Smith comes to Purdue as a true freshman, immediately is the freshman of the year, a major impact player, him and Fletcher Lawyer both, and they've just stayed there the whole time.
Well, and Kaufman Red, who's just this weird college player who you get the ball to in the middle, and he just can put up these weird one-handed, 2-legged floaters, but they just go in.
Yeah, he's what is he, probably 6'6", but he's a post guy.
Yeah, he's a weird guy.
Okay, they list him as 6'9". I don't believe that.
I don't believe that at all.
But yeah, so it's you're right. It's a testament to him, and that's why Tom Izzo always talks about Painter as one of his favorite guys in the league. They have very similar mindsets. They like to have their guys. Purdue definitely attacks the portal a little bit heavier than Michigan State does, but it's a reason why Purdue's been so good.
Do you know who the favorite is to win the conference betting wise?
I would assume Michigan.
Plus 130. 2 teams plus 300.
Well, based on what we did last week, and they had Michigan State so low, I would say it's not them. Purdue is probably Purdue just lost though. So Purdue's 2 losses. I won't give it to Purdue. I will say Nebraska has to be here just because they're undefeated currently.
Mm-hmm.
So they're second. Oh, there's 2 teams.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to give MSU the edge because of what happened. I'm going to go Illinois.
That's correct. Michigan's the favorite. Nebraska and Illinois are both plus 300. Michigan State and Purdue are both plus 950.
Why are they so down on MSU?
I don't understand.
I'm not even just trying to saying that because I'm an MSU follower.
They have the best defense in the country, and their point guard's playing like Chris Paul.
And they're playing awesome. Yeah, exactly. And it's the case it'd be different if they were like Michigan. Oh, you have to play Nebraska and the other best team this week. At least MSU gets to play Rutgers tomorrow before they take on Michigan.
They must really just not like that Nebraska loss.
It's also definitely a case of Michigan is just that big of a favorite still in their mind.
Right.
And MSU has to play them twice. So that probably plays into it, but I don't know. I just think that odd that they're so low on them they won the conference last year.
We were debating whether what the spread was going to be on Friday. On the road, Michigan State's won 5 games versus Michigan in a row.
Ooh,
there hasn't been a win for Michigan in East Lansing since 2018 when Mo Wagner had 27 points. So it's been almost a decade since they've won in East Lansing.
That's crazy.
I still think Michigan's going to be 6-point favorites. I really do.
Really?
5 to 6 point favorites. I do.
Tomorrow night really plays. Well, obviously, whatever happens tomorrow night is going to really heavily affect that line. If Michigan loses to Nebraska, then a lot of things change.
Well, let's say it plays out exactly the way the spread
projects.
Win
by 9 or 10.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Michigan by 3.5.
I
mean, MSU has just been they've covered against all these teams in the last few weeks. Yeah, RP agrees with me. He says Michigan +4. So yeah, State will not be favored.
I think there's 0% chance that Michigan is underdogs in this game unless they lose tomorrow. If they beat Nebraska even by 1 point, they'll be favorites against Michigan State as well. I think
so too. But MSU has been playing, like we said, their best basketball coming into this game.
No, if it's like, I'll tell you what, man. If Michigan State is the underdog, which I think they're going to be, it might be the right play to pick them. It really might be the way that they're playing right now. They always get up for the Michigan game. The other thing that I think's in favor for Michigan State in that matchup on Friday is Tom Izzo's actually been a part of the rivalry and has some players that played in the game last year, whereas all of Michigan's best players, they have no idea what they're walking into. Most of them have never played in the Brez. Even Ade Mara, who played in the Big Ten last year, has never played in the Breslin Center. I think Merez Johnson's really the only guy that's experienced it, and then obviously Namari Burnett has too.
LJ Kaysen, of course,
right,
of
but
course was at the Breslin Center last year.
Smaller roles this season for those guys.
And also, Dusty May has no idea about anything that goes on in this rivalry. So it's like that, that's another thing that plays into this.
I think as long as you have the best point guard, I don't know. I think there's going to be some conversations at some point about Jeremy Fears being one of the best point guards in the country.
Yeah, I've been seeing that.
But certainly the Big Ten.
Braden Smith, though, is had 27 and 12 against Illinois.
Regardless,
yeah,
one of the two best, one of the elite guards. I don't think Michigan has that going for them. Michigan State's defense is, it's the best defense in the country, and they don't really lose at home to their rivals. They don't really lose at home in general. There is some reasons to pick Michigan State in here, and I think it should go without saying that a month ago versus right now, you obviously feel a lot better about Michigan State's chance of beating Michigan. A month ago, it felt I don't know, man. They're gonna need to pray for a miracle because it doesn't look like anybody's gonna beat Michigan. Now it's okay, we got a game on our hands.
Yeah, and you just look at the strengths of Michigan State. It plays into the very slight weaknesses that Michigan has, is that Michigan still does turn the ball over a good amount. Now, they force a ton of turnovers, and they get out in transition better than anybody, so that helps. But Michigan State doesn't turn the ball over on offense, and they force a ton of them and score off a ton of them because it's no shock. Yeah, they're playing good basketball. They're still a pretty average half-court offense. It is an ugly half-court O.
Except when Fears has the ball.
Right, but they get a ton of points off of turnovers and getting out in the break. And so if they're able to win that turnover margin by a pretty hefty amount, which you would kind of think they're going to, then that plays into it. But I'm interested to see the bigs, just because obviously Michigan's bigs are they're incredible. Just the three-headed monster that they bring, and then Carson Cooper has just been this incredible story this season for Michigan State. Just continues to be a very consistent player for them, game in and game out. Kohler's their best guy, I think, overall. And so
over Fears?
And then you have I think so. I still think at least maybe not their best guy, but he's the guy. He's
the
still
offensive player.
He's still their guy. Yeah, you need somebody. I don't know, maybe it is Fears at this point.
I think it might
but nonetheless,
be Fears.
and then you have Cohen Carr, who is basically a big, so that those three going up against each other, that's what I'm really excited about.
I had a Michigan fan point to me, how is Michigan State going to score? How is Kohler going to score on Merez Johnson? How is Cooper going to score on Ade Mara? The answer is transition. Against Maryland, they had 32 transition points to Maryland's 0.
That's what I'm saying.
Which Maryland's,
zero's unreal.
Zero's crazy. I don't care if you're playing the 360th ranked team in the country. To hold a team to 0 transition points is an impressive feat, and that's exactly what Michigan State did. They're going to score in transition. I think it's going to be an ugly game.
It's going to be ugly for sure.
I don't know what the over-under is going to be set at. I might just take the under blindly. Just say, you know what? This game's going to be 59-61. And that's how this game's going to go.
I think so, too. And RP says, do you think it comes down to three-point shooting because he thinks Michigan just packs the lane and gives up jumpers? I agree with that. I think they'll give up jumpers. MSU has pretty consistently shown that they are not the greatest three-point shooting team in the world, but they do have guys that can hit them. If Fears is knocking down his jumper,
then
it's different. And another cliche thing here, but if anybody's going to get up for a game like this, it's Jeremy Fears. Out of anybody on MSU. Anybody in the game, honestly. Fears benefits the most from this being the rivalry, Breslin Center, like, absolutely.
Yeah, sometimes you almost need to walk Fears back a little bit with how into it he gets with the crowd.
I remember him in the game against Nebraska, him and the one dude were going. It almost brought MSU back. He got in the head of that dude on Nebraska, and it almost sparked their comeback. Like,
when Michigan State has one of these point guards, they're dangerous. And it feels like Fears has officially ascended into, hey, man, I need to be taken seriously as one of the better guards in the country.
Like, I think you've officially moved in the territory of, like, you had Kalen Lucas, you had Cassius Winston, and now you have Jeremy Fears. Like, I really think it's almost there.
And it's going to take more than just a 17-17 game versus Maryland in the regular season, but that's a pretty good sign that you've got a guy. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. 11 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by our friends over at Yeiter Insurance. Yeiter Insurance, well, life happens just so fast this time of the year. And at Yeiter Insurance Group, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned in Midland for decades, they treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yeiter is the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people that you can actually talk to. Yeiter Insurance Group, they'll be there when you need them since 1940.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Hi, this is Kurt Yeiter from Yeiter Insurance Group. When the calendar flips, we all have new goals, new adventures, and new things to protect. At Yeiter Insurance Group, your hometown auto owners insurance agency, they're here to help you enter the new year fully covered. New car, new home, or simply wanting peace of mind for your family. Yeiter's team offers one-on-one guidance to match you with the auto owner's coverage that fits your life. Call Yeiter Insurance Group or visit our website for a free coverage review. Yeiter Insurance Group, your friend in the insurance business.
Hi, I'm Matt Smith with Matt Smith Home and Outdoors Realty. From city streets to woodland lakes, I'm here to help you find the place that truly feels like home. When you're buying and selling, you deserve someone who's in your corner, offering clear communication, honest guidance, and a modern, stress-free experience. Whether you're moving up or scaling back or finding your first home, I'm here every step of the way, from city streets to woodland lakes. Find me on Facebook at Matt Smith Home and Outdoors.
That ball is gone. And if you want to hit one out of the park for Midland, listen up. The Midland Area Community Foundation just launched something special, the Wavemakers Society.
The Wavemakers Society is how the Midland Area Community Foundation brings people together to invest in our community's future. It's about creating ripples of generosity that grow into waves of lasting change. When we all give a little with intention, we build permanent community capital that supports Midland's greatest needs now and for generations to come.
That's a game changer. Step up to the plate and join the team shaping Midland's future.
Learn more at midlandfoundation.org.
Make waves. Create ripples. Shape Midland's future today.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
If you want a chance to go see the Detroit Pistons and Cade Cunningham, two-time All-Star, we've got the perfect opportunity for you. Big Win Wednesday, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. On Wednesday, January 28th, we're going to give away 2 tickets to the Pistons-Nets game scheduled for February 1st. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday. Pistons tickets, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Michigan, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
So we've got our two Super Bowl teams, Patriots, Seahawks. We didn't actually get to see the Lions take on either of these teams this year. We did see the Lions take on the Seahawks last year. That team obviously looks a lot different now with a different quarterback, different OC, whole bunch of different stuff, that safety coming in now. Do we feel like the Lions are that far away from competing in these games? These high caliber teams? Obviously, yes, need a new offensive line. Yes, that part needs to be fixed. But other than that, is it kind of that simple? The Lions can go toe-to-toe with either of these teams if they are to upgrade their offensive line this offseason, because it's not like the Rams or Seattle had this incredible offensive line performance yesterday, right? It's not like the Patriots have this ridiculous offensive line that protects Drake May. It's actually not that great. So do we really feel like the Lions are that far away if these teams at the top aren't necessarily, world beaters in that department?
I want to say no. It feels like you just look at how some of these rosters were built in the NFC, and Seattle has just, they did obviously have a close game against the Rams yesterday, but it feels like they've really dominated their way through the playoffs so far against two division rivals as well. And then you look at that roster and you're like, yeah, I think if the Lions matched up against that team with an improved O-line, you think they have a chance to win. You don't think it's over. But then you look at how the Lions played this year, and it's like, they kind of lost to every good team, though. Mm-hmm. And Seattle was obviously better than any of the teams they played this year. So it all hinders on how the offseason goes. But as far as it basing it off of who's in the Super Bowl, with it being New England and Seattle, it's not like these juggernaut teams.
No.
So that is a positive sign. Now, it's not fun to see. I saw somebody earlier said, man, the Patriots had the dynasty, were bad for a couple years, and are back before the Lions could go. That hurts.
That's okay. 28 teams can say that.
Right. Of course. Yes.
If you're not the Patriots or the Chiefs, you're probably disappointed that the Chiefs or that the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl. Yeah. I don't know. I think the Seattle defense isn't going anywhere. This team's tough. If they lose Clint Kubiak, I think they do take a step back offensively, even if Sam Darnold stays around and JSN stays around. I feel like if the Lions are to fix their offensive line and hire the right play caller, though, it's not like they're levels below Seattle by any stretch of the imagination. I like their quarterback more still to this day, right? I still like Jared Goff more than Sam Darnold.
I think Ryan puts it really right. He just said their top end talent is just as good as Seattle.
Say that one more time for me.
I said Ryan. I think he just puts it the right way in our YouTube chat. He says the Lions' top end talent is just as good as Seattle's,
if not better.
Yeah,
JSN had this incredible season. It's not like Amon-Ra can't do all that stuff too. Plus they got Jamison Williams. Plus they got Sam Laporta. Plus they got a running back that's just way better. And Seattle neutralizes the opposing running back maybe better than anybody else in football. But when you've got a guy like Gibbs who you can use in the passing game as well, there's only so much you can do to contain him if the Lions are to fix that offensive line. Yeah, I really don't think they're that far away. It's not like there's some team in the NFC that's like, well, good luck beating those guys for the foreseeable future. I don't think I view Seattle that way. Their defense is going to be tough for a few years for sure, but the Sam Darnold contract really just opened up the avenue for them to continue to thrive here in free agency. But I don't really think it's going to be like this, well, good luck beating Seattle going forward or the Rams. They're going to be tough teams, but it's not like Stafford's getting any younger.
Exactly.
And the offense is going to take a step back if Clint Kubiak leaves, in my opinion.
Totally. I think that Seattle absolutely still going to be really good next year. The Rams are in a situation where you don't really know, and then you look around the rest of the NFC, and it's just the NFC North.
It's a total crapshoot.
Yeah, it's hard to predict. It's not that there's not any good teams, but it's the fact that you can't really sit there and point out that team is the team you're going to have to look out for, and that team. I think that's a good thing for Detroit. Correct?
Yeah, I think the last month of the season, the Rams and the Seahawks kind of just started to separate themselves a little bit from everybody else, from Philly, from Tampa, from Detroit, from the other NFC North teams. And as the playoffs kind of progressed, you kind of just felt like it was more and more Seattle, even though both both you and I kind of went down on the Rams ship. As long as Stafford's still in LA with McVay, I'm going to feel like that's a good team. I'm never going to just dismiss a McVay-Stafford combination. Because, again, like some of the stuff Stafford was – I know they lost the game, but some of those plays he was making in the fourth quarter when they were marching back were unbelievable.
Yeah, his read progression was just like – I mean, just watching him go through all of his reads was so sick.
It felt like we were watching the game in slow motion the way that he was watching the game in slow motion. He was processing everything and going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 – like – you don't see that happen in real time when you're watching through the TV. Stafford was doing it so well that you could see him in real time. 1 check, 2 check, 3 check. Okay, get the ball to this guy. Some of the in-provision, the play extension, when he took off, the pitching it to Puka Nacua and saying, go pick up the first down. I thought he was incredible. So as long as those guys are playing, like, I'm going to think very highly of that Rams team. I think the 49ers are, if they can ever stay healthy, a team to look out for as well. And Seattle, like, I think it really just comes down to the West. I don't know if I'm going to ever fear anybody down in that South. Atlanta's roster is really great right now, but their quarterback is probably going to be Kirk Cousins to start out next season. I don't really feel like the Lions are like, oh, we got multiple steps to take before we can get back to the top. I think this is one simple offseason. If you make the right moves in the draft and free agency, they're going to be okay.
Yeah, and it goes for both. Like, it's not even a situation where it's like, yeah, maybe they could win the NFC, but in the AFC, you're not beating this team.
No.
It's just the NFL as a whole, and that could hurt the Lions because everybody could have that same mindset. But still, there is not a single team. You look at who's there with Seattle and New England, had awesome seasons, but there's no reason to look at those teams and be like, man, the rest of the league is screwed next year, which is great.
Nope. I think the best thing that the NFC has going for them is that it's all but likely the Seattle Seahawks are going to lose their OC. And then I'd be very curious to see what Sam Darnold looks like beyond that. Not to be like, oh, it's all because of the OC. Sam Darnold deserves all the credit in the world for getting to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he could win the Super Bowl, but let's see him without that OC.
Well, Derek Carr also looked like how Sam Darnold looked for 2 weeks last year under Clint Kubiak in New Orleans before he decided to bounce up out of there. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens with them. I don't think the Lions are all that far away, though. In anywhere, I think they have a better. The head coach is probably pretty similar, but I still like their quarterback. I think the big thing that people tend to kind of undermine is how big of a step the Lions' defense could end up taking if they're to just stay healthy once. Like, just stay healthy one time, and I think we're going to see a top 10 defense. That's the type of personnel that they have had the last couple of years. And if they lose Anzalone, it's probably going to be a little bit different.
But it just feels like more of an ask than anything to say just be healthy.
Right.
Because it just hasn't. Like, it shouldn't be that hard to say that because teams have years where they're healthy one year, they're not the next year. Look at San Francisco. Like, it just happens. And then
the Lions really haven't had 1 year where it's been healthy secondary.
Exactly. It just kind of gets worse and worse every single year.
But I think if by the time the playoffs roll around, Joseph, Branch, Campbell, Hutchinson, McNeil are all healthy, like, come on, man. As long as they're not on your sixth-string safety, I feel like, or corner for that matter, I feel like this should be a pretty awesome defense. That's the part that always gets lost in the shuffle with the last couple of years of the Lions.
And even if you look at, like, the teams that are in the Super Bowl right now, like, the Patriots' defense is good. Like, it has good players. It's not like this Seahawks defense, you know?
No.
Like, it's not this crazy awesome defense.
I'd say the Seahawks defense is the only truly elite unit in the Super Bowl. The Patriots offense is probably second, but that's like, it's really just Drake May being awesome, and he hasn't really been awesome in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, the Patriots
do you think he has been?
No. Well, that's what, like, continuously we're getting some talk about it in the YouTube chat. Like, this Patriots roster, Ryan says, might be one of the worst rosters to ever go to the Super Bowl. They don't have a lot of top-end talent outside of Drake May and Christian Gonzalez.
I think they're really well coached.
Yeah, they are. And honestly, it would be so bad if they won because then it's just going to be like, oh, they beat Sam Darnold in the Super Bowl. They beat Jarrett Stidham in the AFC Championship.
I think that has to be given up. But if you make it to the Super Bowl, like, it doesn't really matter how difficult or easy your path was. You made it to the Super Bowl.
If they like get exposed in the Super Bowl, though, then that talk is for sure going to be had.
Well, what did we think the Carolina Panthers were fake when they went 15-1?
No.
And then they got exposed in the Super Bowl. Like, I I guess I don't really understand that narrative that they haven't played anybody the entire year when they.
No, I know, but it is a narrative that exists nonetheless.
They played They played 3 really awesome defenses in the playoffs so far between Denver, Houston, and LA. And now they're going to play the best defense of them all. So we'll see what happens. Defense back. Defense kind of back.
Right, that's what I like. That's the one part about the Lions thing that you maybe think like you look at the 4 teams that were left. The Rams had for sure the worst defense of any of them, and it come back to bite them. You know.
Yeah, their secondary couldn't hold up. It felt like Sam Darnold could take shots whenever he wanted.
Did you disagree with the Rams not taking 3 points when they went for it on 4th and 4? I think it was.
Yeah, that was the play where Seattle
10.
put 9 guys on the line of scrimmage and dropped all but 2 of them back. No, I thought they should have just taken the points there.
You thought so?
Because then in the last drive, they could have at least, if they would have taken the points there, and then on the last drive not have had to use the 2 timeouts, you could have tried to get the ball back and at least try to get in a field goal range. But when the Rams got the ball back with like 30 seconds left, it felt like they had almost no chance needing to get a touchdown.
I agreed with it just from the fact of like, man, do you think you're going to get a stop? Like, and they really didn't. I know they did, but I mean, they got the ball back with 20 seconds left.
Yeah.
So I thought it was the right call. I think on the flip side, because we had another bad one for Denver, them going for it up 7-0 early in that game. I think it was that the first or second quarter? It was early.
I think it was the
first
first
Sean
quarter.
Payton immediately brought it up in his press conference. Like he said, I regret doing that. Like I should not have done that, which you don't really see many coaches do that. Them not taking 3 points there felt like the worst one of all.
989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. 11 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by our friends over at Yider Insurance. Hey, this upcoming summer, your dream lawn, Cervinsky sod can quite literally roll that out. Top quality sod that stops people right in the middle of their walk. They're walking the dog and they stop and they say, whose lawn is that? That looks beautiful. They've been doing it for over 50 years, which means they are experts at Cervinsky sod. Whether you're fixing a rough spot or redoing your whole yard, Cervinsky delivers lush green perfection. Fast, friendly, and farm fresh because your grass should be greener right now. Don't settle for a bland yard. Increase the value of your home and get the lawn your neighbors will envy with Cervinsky sod.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Isaiah, how did you get all wet?
I was playing in the rain.
Son, you're in the house. It's not raining inside. Or is it?
Yeah, it's in the kitchen.
What?
Oh no, the roof has a leak.
Leak? That's a waterfall.
We need that fixed now.
Rexy Siding and Building Repair can fix it.
What, son?
Any job, anywhere. Bresky can do it all.
Call Bresky right now and get that roof fixed. And while you're at it, have him fix the gutters.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Great Lakes Loons. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text Clean Card to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
Since 2007, the Michigan Baseball Foundation has invested over $1.8 million into our communities, supporting over 350 projects across 14 Michigan counties. From restoring Alma Little League fields to creating nature-based classrooms at the Chippewa Nature Center and enhancing accessibility at the middle of the Mitt Miracle Field, MBF is making a real difference. Every ticket to a Great Lakes Loons game helps fund these initiatives. Join us in building a stronger, more vibrant community. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
They know the roads, they know the weather, and they know the community. That's because Forward Energy is fueled by local people who serve the same areas that they live in. Through every sports season and every weather season, they're proud to be on the home team. From automatic deliveries to flexible payment options, Forward Energy makes it easy to stay comfortable all year long. Forward Energy, your hometown propane and fuel supplier since 1925.
Need a unique, versatile space for your next event? From the moment you arrive at Dow Diamond, it's easy to see how it's more than just a baseball stadium. With private areas for groups as small as 30 to large-scale events for 300 plus, even full-service catering, Dow Diamond has you covered. From trade shows, corporate meetings and seminars to holiday parties, high school proms, and weddings, book Dow Diamond for your next event. Just call 989-837-2255 or visit dowdiamondevents.com.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Looms. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation, that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit. Because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Appreciate everyone for listening today. Today's actually the last day in this studio that we'll ever have. Because starting tomorrow, we're getting a whole new studio renovation.
What?
So we're going to be in a suite for our YouTube audience.
What?
It's going to look a little bit different. And then hopefully sometime next week, we can actually be back in the studio rocking the new setup. I'm really excited for it. Hope you guys are too.
Wait, so where are you going to go?
What do you mean, where am I going to go?
You said just our last day. Your last day in here. Where are you going to be at? Just leaving?
We're going to be in the suite rather than in the studio. Does that make sense to you?
Oh.
Did I mess up? Did I say something wrong?
No. Okay. I just thought you were like going on a vacation or something.
No. We'll still be here, so we're excited about that. If you're listening on the radio, it's going to sound no different to you. For our YouTube audience, it'll look a little bit different shortly. So we're excited about that. So excited that we're going to hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Yep, I'm excited. Breaking news. Ben just dropped it. That's all we got. Let's add some more news to it, though. Kyle Whittingham, we found out his contract with the Michigan Wolverines, of course, newly hired football coach. It's a 5-year deal worth $41 million. He'll have an $8 million base salary to kick off that progressively goes up throughout his 5 years with a couple of incentives built in.
I think this is a super, university-friendly deal in terms of the base salary that you're being paid, and if you win, he gets a lot more money and become one of the more higher paid coaches on a year-to-year basis. If they are to go on and win a bunch of playoff games, it's like a $500,000 bonus for every round they win or something like that. So it's a big-time win for the university that they're not from the jump paying him that much, but if they are paying him top-end money, that means that they're winning, so it's totally worth it. I thought this was a big win for Ward Manuel and company.
Yeah.
Not a lot of them these days.
No, that's a really good point. Okay, the Wings, they are off tonight. They play tomorrow against the Kings, but they did pick up a huge win on Saturday over the Jets 5-1 to continue their good play.
They keep on rolling, man. They really do. John Gibson is He needs to be given some sort of MVP award for the way that he's been playing in net as of late. Feels like they don't lose when he's in there.
MVN.
Most valuable net. Most valuable goalkeeper, MVG.
Right. Something like that. We did get a couple of head coaches hired since our last show. Kind of old news, but still worth talking about. First off, Jesse Minter headed to the Baltimore Ravens. We discussed that earlier. They let one former Michigan defensive coordinator get away. He's doing pretty good, so they decided to get the next best guy. And then Mike McCarthy is headed to the Steelers. They want to keep Aaron Rodgers, man.
I don't mind this for the Steelers. I feel like this was getting overhated. I mean, yeah, they brought in someone who couldn't get over the hump for like a decade, which is kind of the Steelers' whole gimmick, so it's a perfect fit. I'm just glad they brought in someone. If I'm a Steelers fan, I'm glad they brought in someone who's an offensive mind rather than a defensive mind. Because if they would have just gone another Tomlin and tried to do a culture thing and lean on the defense, I think it was time for a shakeup. So I thought it was good for them that they bring in someone who's a little bit more offensive-centric.
Yeah, I mean, Tomlin's whole thing was he couldn't win a playoff game. McCarthy's thing just lost in the NFC Championship game every year.
That'd be a huge win for the Steelers.
They'll take that. Losing the AFC Championship, I mean, that's like they already like going 9-8. You know, you win a couple extra games, like.
Sounds like a huge win.
Yeah, it sounds like awesome. So Mike McCarthy could never have been the Lions offensive coordinator, even though Ben wanted it to happen because he was going to be a head coach the whole time.
But it was somewhat validating, though, that he did become a head coach. For everyone who clowned on me for suggesting that Mike McCarthy should be the OC or they should interview him, the fact that he got a head coaching job makes me feel better about that take.
Good. I'm happy you feel good about that.
Thank you.
I still think this is like, I still am with the public, though. Like, the whole point of moving off of Mike Tomlin is to actually, like, do a reset year. And Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers is not getting you that. So,
who says they're going to bring back Rodgers, though? What if they draft Ty Simpson?
Oh, man, they're going to draft Ty Simpson? What? That'd be so big. We're still waiting on what? The Bills job, the Browns job. I think that's it, right?
Bills job, Browns job, Raiders job.
Raiders job, yes.
Is there really not another one? Buffalo.
I said the Bills.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that might be it.
Yeah. All right, interesting. Matt Stafford was asked after the game, by the way, just about his future with the Rams. And, of course, pretty typical answer. You'd expect this. He says it's too soon to think about any future. Obviously, a year ago, they went from, Matt Stafford's going to retire to actually you can ask for a trade and we'll trade you to never mind, we're re-signing you, and we almost made the Super Bowl. So I don't know if that means – it feels like he can't retire, though, right?
Stafford?
Yeah.
No. He just played at MVP caliber level. They're so close.
That's
I feel like
saying.
if he were to retire, it'd be like he left a little bit on the plate. You know, there's still a little bit more that I think he can chew off.
Absolutely. I agree. Especially with that restructured deal. Like the Rams still have some sort of flexibility. So I agree. This weekend we also saw Tarek Skubal get his Cy Young Award. That was pretty fun to see. Scoob's all dressed up at the MLB Awards show. I don't know, is he going to three-peat? What do we think?
He threw it out there. He suggested it. It would be so fitting if he were to three-peat and then just leave in free agency. That'd be really sad, actually.
I don't know how fitting that would be. That would just suck. But it also would suck if he didn't win it and still left in free agency. So, more Tigers news. We did get the MLB Pipeline Top 100 for 2026. We talked about it with Baseball Americas as well, but the Pipeline one is going to be the one that we're going to reference all summer long, so we might as well give you that updated one. Kevin McGonigal is number 2 on here. Connor Griffin is the lone prospect ranked higher. He's of the Pittsburgh Pirates farm system. Max Clark is in the top 10 at the bottom. He's there at number 10. Bryce Rayner is still here. He's at number 35, coming off of season-ending shoulder surgery last year, right? I think it was shoulder.
People forget about Bryce Rayner, you know? Don't forget about him.
I know. I almost did. And then Josue Briseño, who's been rumored to potentially we might see him this season, depending on how his Toledo stint goes. He's at number 40. So 4 top 40 guys. Nobody else in the top 100 for Detroit, but still, 4 top 40 guys is pretty cool.
I also don't want to get it twisted, like start talking about, they have the best, what's it called? Like farm system in baseball. I don't think that's true anymore. Like,
no, they don't.
Teams like the Sox, teams like Twins have real guys in the they have 6 players in the top 100.
Yeah, and the only
Tigers
reason
don't have that anymore.
The reason they were the top team last year was because they had Job that was a part of this.
Yeah.
Job was he was the top pitching prospect going into last year. So
it was very top heavy.
Yeah.
And
it still is
top heavy.
It still is top. And once McGonagall's up, then it's just then
you don't really have anything in the farm system, which is
Right.
even more the reason that this man's entire reputation, Scott Harris, all is in the hands of McGonagall.
More baseball news. In the division, the Cleveland Guardians have extended Jose Ramirez to a 7-year, $175 million extension. Shout out to Cleveland, man, paying their guys.
He's so good. He really is.
He is, man. And I don't know. There's a group of Tigers fans that dislike Jose Ramirez, maybe because he's so good. I don't know how he's unlikable. Maybe just because he's good.
Awesome.
I don't know. But
he's just really good.
Yeah, he is pretty awesome. Couple more things. We have a big-time college basketball slate tonight. It's a huge week of college hoops, but Louisville Duke is at 7. That's number 23 versus number 5, but the big one. Arizona at BYU at 9 o'clock. I'm telling you, if you're a hoops fan, you got to stay up to watch at least the first half of this game. Arizona's undefeated. BYU has maybe the best player in the country in A.J. DiBonsa, who scored 43 the other night. And they're at home. This is going to be such a huge game. Arizona 2.5-point favorites.
43 is crazy for a college basketball player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for both.
He does it on a lot of jumpers as well.
This is prime time, hey, what's on tonight, general sports fan. It's these 2 games. It's the doubleheader.
Yeah.
Which is on what?
ESPN. You've got no Wings on tonight, no Pistons. You might as well, at least, no Michigan State. You might as well watch some of this game.
No football, sad face.
No football, of course. Okay, we'll do 2 more college basketball things. Got to throw John a bone here because Rick Pitino and St. John's, 900th win for Rick Pitino. Pretty crazy, man. That's a ton of wins.
That's a lot of winning.
He did it against his son, too, Richard Pitino, who coaches Xavier. Pretty cool that it mapped out that way in the schedule. So shout out to Rick Pitino for getting win number 900. And then we got to update everyone on this odd story that's going on at Alabama. Charles Bediako was the guy who, played at Alabama for 2 years, went to the NBA draft, played for the Pistons G League team a week ago, and then got reinstated on this temporary exemption to play in college basketball. He played Saturday for Alabama. He scored 13 points, and Alabama lost. Good karma, right?
And Tennessee made some fun of them on Twitter.
Yeah, and he's only probably going to be able to play 3 games, and then his temporary restricted thing that only lasts 2 weeks is going to expire, and then he won't be allowed to play.
My question is, what is this guy's goal? Is it to get to the NBA? Because it feels like this is a step backwards.
I don't know if you
it's
can
not like
get
you
to
can
the
get
NBA.
redrafted, right?
I don't think you can, but also...
What is the point?
Okay,
Just to go make some money?
Probably, yeah. I don't know.
I don't like it.
No one likes it. That's the thing. No one likes it. But, Nate Oates, I don't think that's going to make Tom Izzo very happy.
No, not at all. All right, 989-837-6125. You guys can see us right here live on YouTube, unless your eyes are itchy, unless your eyes are irritated. And if that's the case, that's not normal. And Mid-Modern Eye Care and Dry Eye Clinic specializes in dry eye treatment that actually works, so you should probably visit them. If your eyes burn or water or feel tired from screens, they can help you get real lasting relief. From advanced dry eye care to exams, glasses, and contacts, they've got you covered. Stop dealing with discomfort and start seeing more comfortably today. See better, feel better with Mid-Modern Eye Care and Dry Eye Clinic.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Anyela Eichelberger from Saginaw United. With a 3.99 GPA, Anyela is a 2-sport athlete in volleyball and tennis. She serves as a youth ambassador, a stand-up student, and her art is award-winning.
You have art good enough, the teacher will enter your pieces into the show. I did not even know mine was entered into the show. And I actually won 2 awards for the 2 pieces that were entered. The medium I used was color pencil, and it was like a geometric sort of shape, and then the other one was like dot art.
Anyela has been dual enrolled at Delta College in her senior year. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
It's time to think about your pig. You know, the propane tank in your backyard that heats your home. Well, there's no better company to fill your pig than Forward Energy, covering over 20 counties. Forward Energy is a family-owned and operated propane supplier that's fueled area homes, farms, businesses, and hunters and anglers since 1925. Fill your pig this year. Visit forwardenergy.com to find out about new customer pricing and programs.
With Forward Energy.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think.
I think if the Pistons trade for Michael Porter Jr., they are winning the Eastern Conference. I think just because the Lions missed the playoffs this season doesn't mean there's any need for big-time changes when it comes to the regime of Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and Jared Goff for that matter. I think every time we see this Michigan basketball team take the floor, we are witnessing one piece of what could be a historic season. And I think if you agree or disagree with anything I just said, you should listen to The Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon.
Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
They tell us we're more connected these days. We have cell phones, email, text messaging, yet we've never felt more disconnected from the people we care about the most. We need a place that's all about bringing us together. Say hello to the Great Lakes Bay region, where towns like Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, and Frankenmuth help us leave behind the overscheduled world we live in and visit a place we haven't seen in a while. One where the people make us feel right at home. And we remember just how bright our kids' eyes get, peeking through a riverboat railing, just to catch a glimpse of the wildlife. So let's go fishing, bird watching. Let's blow the suds off a local tap, take a tall ship dinner cruise at sunset, or stop by a festival just because the name made us smile. Right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, where reconnecting with what really matters is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Welcome back into the show. We've got two traditions to close this thing out. The first tradition we have is our Lock of the Day.
Lock of the Day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right. Remind me, did Lock of the Day hit on Friday? I'm having a hard time remembering what it was. I feel like the answer is no.
It did hit, actually. Yes,
Oh.
it was Asar Thompson PRAs in that game against Houston.
Good old reliable Asar Thompson PRA.
That seemed to work out pretty well for you. So that means you went up on the week, which means that's back-to-back weeks with a win. You're 2-1 throughout the first 3 weeks of 2026. And overall, you're 0.71 units up right now. Chance to get up over a unit for the first time so far in 2026 with a win today. You also have yet to hit on a Monday in 2026. So this is a big day. Big day. Yeah, Mondays have not been your day. They're not a lot of people's days, you know?
Mondays are what's holding me back, I suppose.
Some are saying that.
I'm going with the Lakers today. Lakers by 1.5. I feel like most of the time I bet on the Lakers, it ends up working out. There's been a couple Luka, LeBron, Lakers sort of stuff that we've done. Usually that ends up working out. Just kind of glancing on the book this morning, I saw they were 1.5 point favorites. Yeah, they're on the road, but it's against this crappy Bulls team. That just felt like a number that was too low. So it was kind of one of those ones where you're not necessarily diving into the numbers It's just kind of a blink test. Like,
It's
why
like
are
a just cause?
It's a blink test. It's like, why are the Lakers only favored by 1.5? I went and checked the injury report. It seems like everyone's going to be playing. It's not like the Lakers are on a back-to-back. So I couldn't really understand that one, even though they're on the road. So I'm gonna go with the Lakers by 1.5 today. But you shook your head as if you were disappointed.
I'm just disappointed because like Arizona minus 2.5 is just right there looking at you. It's just right there staring at you in the face. BYU really has not played anybody.
I'm not betting against AJ Dubance, kid. No way.
I just thought that I think that's the play.
I'm not betting against AJ Dubance. That kid's crazy.
That would be my lock of it. Oh, it's moved to 1.5 even too. Ugh.
Arizona's minus or plus?
Minus.
Yeah, I don't really want to bet against Dubance.
I mean, I don't either, but like, I just feel like that's what I would go with. But I
feel like Duke might be the play actually.
Duke could be the play.
What's their spread at for Louisville?
8.5. It's at Cameron Indoor though, so like
still.
Duke doesn't really lose at home. They're also 7-0 in the conference as well. Yeah. I don't hate it, though, because the Bulls also are coming off of, like, an emotional win Saturday. They retired Derrick Rose's number. They beat Boston. They actually retired his number, too, so no one can wear it.
They didn't just honor and put it in the rafters.
His number 1 that's up there, like, no one else can rock that, yeah.
Well, that's usually what that means when you put a jersey in the rafters. That usually implies that nobody else is going to ever wear it because it's retired.
No. I think you've got it all wrong.
Apparently I do. I don't. Why was his jersey hung in the rafters if they weren't going to retire it? Michigan.
I don't know. Like I said, it could just be they're waiting for Elliot Cadeau, who currently rocks it, to be done. And that you can also just say it is retired, though, and he's just grandfathered in for now.
Yeah. Or you could tell Elliot Cadeau at the beginning of the year, hey, we're retiring this guy's jersey.
Right, because that was probably
earlier.
Already set up, yeah.
I don't know. All right, so are you tailing or fading? I still don't understand.
I have to fade.
Why? Just because?
Just because, yeah.
You saw the spread and you were like, I don't actually think this is high enough. Bulls should be favored.
Right, yeah, it's like a wait, what? It's one of those.
Yeah, I thought that, but the other way. All right, that is our Lakers minus 1.5. That is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right, the next thing we typically do is predict what Colin Cowherd's going to open with. Not typically, always. I don't think we've ever ended a show without it. Yeah, we do this. Whose turn is it to go first?
All right. Let me check. It's my turn to go first.
Perfect.
Nice. Episode 162. That's the amount of games there is in an MLB season. That's pretty cool.
That's a good number.
We've done MLB season amount of shows, so that's pretty cool. Okay, 43-34. You have the lead. I'm down by 9. It's a lot to be down by. Luckily, no one got a point on Friday. Today, I got to nail this. Feels like I have to get this right, and it's Colin Cowherd, Seattle guy, Seahawks go into the Super Bowl. It's a Sam Darnold Seahawks lead, baby. That's what it is.
That's going to be what
That's
it is.
what it is. If it's a Patriots lead, there's no chance, man. But it could be.
I think you're probably right. I'll go Patriots just because that's the other answer. And I'll use the angle like, yeah, Drake May is essentially past Josh Allen in the QB rankings, in the quarterback rankings. Drake May has a chance to...
Really, he brings up Josh.
Well, did you see the stat that Drake May's the youngest quarterback to ever start in a Super Bowl other than Dan Marino? That's pretty good company. And if he wins it, he'd be the youngest to ever win a Super Bowl.
Marino never won, though, right?
Correct. That'd be a pretty impressive thing to be able to hang your hat on.
May getting to the Super Bowl before Josh and before Lamar, and even if he wins one, like winning one before Joe Burrow, like all these other young hotshot QBs that have been so good in the NFL.
And according to RG3, before Jared Goff as well. It's a real thing.
He threw him in there.
He did.
Hey, we'll take that. Shout out RG3.
Except Jared Goff has actually been to a Super Bowl, believe it or not.
Oh, he said that to make the Super Bowl?
That's true.
Oh, no, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, he didn't know. That's okay.
No, yeah, that's
we all make
bad.
mistakes. Like, forgetting that a quarterback played in a Super Bowl or forgetting that a team won a Super Bowl.
When you talk about NFL, yeah.
Yeah. What are you going to do? I'll go Patriots. I'll go Patriots. You'll go Seahawks.
Yeah.
This is our last show in the studio for now until it looks totally different in a couple of weeks. I don't know how long it's going to take exactly. Feels like there's a couple things that are still TBD, but...
You're getting a whole new look too, right?
Yeah, I'm buzzing my hair.
Yeah, you're going to look completely
wardrobe
different
change.
Too,
So are you, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're going to have glasses.
Yep. Long hair.
Yeah, you're getting some hair extensions. Everything's going to look different here in a couple of weeks. It almost feels like a Friday, like I'm setting it off to the weekend.
Does that mean we got to get rid of Chauncey Billups' bobblehead right there?
No.
Is he still going to hang out?
No, he'll survive. He'll make the move to the next studio for sure.
Okay, good.
But we'll still have shows the next couple of days. We're just going to be live from one of the suites up here at Dow Diamond. So if you're watching on YouTube and you're like, wait, that's not their studio, that's why, because it's getting redone.
Yeah, and
we
then
should have some fun features.
Everyone who's listening right now can put in the YouTube chat, like, what, did you not hear?
And it sounds like even though we already have our text line that's available to text into, I have a call line too. Be able to call a station, tell us your thoughts. Feel pretty big time. I'm excited for it. That's a couple weeks out. It starts tomorrow though, so we'll be live from the suite tomorrow. All right. Early Super Bowl predictions. I got the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I'll have time to flip back.
But
and
I've
forth.
also gone 0-6 in the last 2 weeks with my spread picks, so that means New England's winning.
That's just spread picks though. You've done better in the straight up picks.
Well, yeah.
All right, guys. We will talk to you tomorrow, 9:00. More on the Detroit Lions, I'm sure. More on the Pistons. It should be a good time. And we'll have the Michigan-Nebraska game to recap. So, see you later.
The Ben Bosscher